It's on now, guys.
Wait, are we live?
What do you think I'm funny?
Funny? What's going on?
I showed you funny.
Oh wow, is it? Are we actually straight?
Oh, hey,
we're
we're
live. Oh wow, that was a weird start. Okay,
Here we go.
let's try out this intro for the how many time?
Third time, I think.
Third, fourth time.
Okay, hold on. So we are getting sound.
Okay, that's
I
good.
will say that you guys are really, really quiet.
Yeah, we're getting
Okay.
sound. We're live.
That can be.
Yeah, that's not here.
Now he's gonna press a button. Here we go.
Okay.
Also, I sound like a robot.
Well, we can't really do anything about that, unfortunately.
Yeah, we sound fine here. I mean, we can all hear you.
No, but through the stream, I sound like a bit of a robot.
Talk like a robot, maybe to counter it.
Yeah.
Let me just change my my character's race real quick to robot.
That would work.
That would work.
Is it any better now? Is it working?
It sounds good. Yeah, I mean, it works.
All right. So we're actually we have sound now.
We have sound.
That's great. Okay. Welcome everybody to the Damage Go live stream.
For real this time.
We're here. I think we are with you in cyberspace.
Who knew you needed sound?
Sharing this collective digital reality. So welcome. Thank you for being with us. My name is Jay Staudt, and I will be your dungeon master for this evening. We're going to start by going around the room. First of all, I want to apologize. You won't get to see our beautiful faces close up this evening because we tried to use the same streaming platform we did last time and got the same glitch where there's no audio. So we're using an auxiliary backup plan for tonight.
So deal with it.
While we wait for the developers to fix that issue. Yes. So please deal with it in kind. Kindly just
Kindly suck a lemon.
Right. So we're gonna start by going around and having everybody introduce themselves. So let's start with Andy. What I want each person to do is to tell me their name, their fake name, their class and race, and what their character is currently doing.
Okay. Do we have to like stand up like in class and be like,
I mean,
"Hi, I'm
if-
Andy."
if
Okay.
You brought your
want to, then
PowerPoint
go for it.
presentation.
Yeah, I brought my
Yeah.
PowerPoint presentation. Okay. I have my little name card here. It's really cool because this guy made it.
Yeah.
It's An'hek Shardtooth. He's a bugbear barbarian.
Okay, now what's your character's name?
Yes, that's my name. Well, you already introduced me. It's Andy, so. Yes, I'm Andy, and my character is An'hek Shardtooth. He's a bugbear barbarian, level 1, because we're starting new. He is a noble, a prince within his own little kingdom, but he is different than his brothers and sisters and his father. He cares about his people. Unlike most bugbears are kind of just like all about themselves, he actually wants to bring peace to his people. What he's doing right now, though, he's out on a hunt. He's out in the middle of the forest there. He's lined up on his prey, and he kind of senses something around him. He's not sure what it is. He lifts his head and he starts smelling the air, and it's just something's there that wasn't there before, and
Something there that
it just
wasn't there
before.
He starts to sing. Little teacups come out.
Yeah, this D&D campaign is actually a musical. So
Let it
It's actually
go, let it go.
yeah, we're going to pause the exposition for a
Beast.
5-minute musical number.
Yes.
D&D stands for Disney and Disney.
I've always wanted to be part of a musical. But basically, there's something strange going on around him that he's never sensed. And he's just had his kill, and he's starting to clean it up, and he's trying to ignore this feeling, but it's still around him.
Okay, I like that. All right, good.
All right. My name is Bryan, and I will be playing Shishka Ba'ab, the Tabaxi monk, who is a somewhat of a martial arts master.
Why don't, for those less educated of our viewers, why don't you explain what a tabaxi is?
Yes, a tabaxi is a mix between a tabby and a taxi. No, a tabaxi is a cat person, and he was raised on his home world of Kathmandu, and his father trained him from a young age to be a martial arts master. And when we first see him, we see him in a dark alleyway, and he's got another cat person, another tabaxi, by the collar with one hand, and he has another fist raised toward him, and you can see that the other one has some bleeding and bruises and whatnot. And it appears that they're in the middle of a conversation, but at the moment we can't hear what they're saying.
A violent conversation.
Yes, exactly.
So this is another member of your race that you are now.
Yes.
And that's all we know about the situation.
That's all we know.
Okay. I mean, that's not all you know.
Well,
hopefully.
maybe.
I'm just blacked out, and now I'm in an alley beating someone.
I don't know how I got here.
Okay. All right. Good. Sam.
Okay, I'm Sam, and I play Lord Frederick Von Frederick. He is a dwarven sorcerer who was once lord of a city in an extinct volcano called Feathertop, till he was assassinated, exploded, and then was reborn. Trust me, it makes sense in my head.
Just deal with it.
Currently, he is running out of a burning building, telling everyone around that this was not his fault, but also laughing at the same time, so no one, it's not very convincing.
I'll say.
Okay.
My turn?
Yes. Thank.
Okay, I'm Thayne. I am playing Kroth, the Githzerai wizard. And as of this moment, I am currently helping to unload a Spelljammer ship that has recently come into port on a new planet that I haven't been to before. And going about business as usual as I simply get cargo off the ship.
Okay. All right. Let's go to the phones. First, let's start with Shabe. Why don't you tell us about your character and yourself?
I thought you'd never ask.
I'm going to speak up a little bit.
Yeah.
Turn up your volume.
Oh, I gotta speak up.
Yeah, you're fine. You're good.
You guys can hear me?
Yep.
Ooh.
Cool. Yeah, so, yes. I am playing Norfir Torbek. I'm an SMR cleric. And what I was doing right now was, I was just about to leave, or actually I'm in the process of leaving my village, the Hidden Woods, and I have been tasked with finding, or instructed rather, to find the ancient relics of Obadiah, my deity.
Okay.
And I'm setting up
So you are
my own for
leaving.
the first time.
You are leaving home, and you said this is the first time you've ever left home.
By my lonesome, yes. I've
Okay.
always been with others, and even during my training, my mentor was with me.
Okay.
Always.
Are they? Is the town sad that you're leaving, or glad that you're leaving, or?
That's a good question.
I'd say they're a little bit relieved because I was born to human parents, so I was kind of always a bit of an outsider.
Okay.
All right. And last but certainly not least, Tommy, why don't you give us a little
Okay, so
rundown?
I'm Tommy Johnson. I am playing Saul Jormungandr, a E.U.R.E.K.A bard. He was raised as the royal bard on his planet. The E.U.R.E.K.A ruled it with an iron fist, and as a royal bard, he had many privileges that his brother Ernesto craved, and he was betrayed and thrust through a portal into the Beastlands, where his dashing good looks charmed a beast he did not wish to charm, which was a giant Hydra, and at the moment he's running from it.
So this is a Hydra queen, is that correct?
Yes,
And
that has a really weird list and keeps arguing with herself.
and is in love
He's
with you.
going, what he you can't really tell which gender it is at the time.
Okay.
That is chasing after him.
All right. So he's fleeing through dense, tepid jungles.
Correct.
From
And
this.
she's sending out her minions,
Her minions,
various
yeah.
snakes and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I think Saul is going to have a phobia after this.
Okay. All right, thank you, everyone. And actually, I might as well go ahead and introduce my character now, even though he's not really going to come into play in this adventure. I'll be playing Glorf Smugwizzle, the Goblin Rogue. And Glorf is currently making goblin shoes out of cow bladders because he is a craftsman, and he made himself a terrible pair of shoes one day, and everybody thought it was a fashion statement, and so all the goblins wanted one. And so he's very busy in his goblin workshop making some shoes right now. So, as each of you are standing or fighting or running or unloading or whatever your particular situation is, or leaving home, as the case may be, you begin to feel a strange sensation come over you. You have a moment of wooziness, a blurring of your vision, a lightheadedness.
Oh, no, not again.
Yeah, which for Sam's character is pretty much like an everyday occurrence. But this one feels a little different. And suddenly everything around you goes bright and completely whites out. And the next thing you know, you have a sensation of weightlessness, of floating. And you are floating in an endless sea of nothing.
Probably pretty used to that.
Yeah, which Thane's character is used to.
Almost this exact thing happened to me once before, and it was bad.
Not
And-
happy. My dinner just disappeared.
Yeah. So whatever it was that you were involved in, you are now not there. You're away from that. You've been torn away from your various lives, and you find yourself after you have no idea how much time has passed, but you find yourself as your vision returns to you. You wake up lying on a hard slab beneath you. And
I can see.
as you open your eyes and look around, you find yourself in a large chamber that is... What is that?
Yes, what is that?
You feel like you're on... It looks like, as you look around, you look... It feels like you're on the inside of a giant golf ball, except all the divots in the golf ball are tunnels that lead out of this massive chamber. And as you kind of examine the room further, you see that this slab that you're on is a platform with no sides or banister or anything like that. That's just kind of suspended in the middle of this huge chamber. So you're all lying there peacefully. If anybody wants to do anything or go anywhere or get up or say anything.
Where am I?
Who are you guys?
I don't know where I am. Oh, I'm over there.
I stand up, look around at everyone else who's lying on the floor, and then walk away.
Okay. You make it to the edge of the platform and you see the continuation of this big spherical room just kind of descend into darkness beneath you.
I will do one of those cool kip up things where I flip up to my feet just because I can, and then I'll raise my fist and look around at everybody as if they're about to attack me, and then I slowly back away from them all.
Okay.
I stand up. I smell that there is no dinner in front of me. And what I smell, I don't like. So I step back from the center.
Okay. Glorf sits up and he looks down into his lap and he still has the pair of shoes that he was sewing, but he's so far behind his deadline and he has so many pairs of shoes to make that he's like, I'll worry about getting home later, and he just continues to sew his shoes.
Frederick is used to people moving away from him, so this isn't quite unusual. Yeah, Frederick is wondering if he's dead or not.
Again.
Again. Like, maybe for real this time, perhaps?
Okay.
My character, Saul, gets up, looks around, sees that there's no Hydra or snakes chasing after him, gets back on the ground, lays with his hands behind his head, and just kind of relaxes.
It's the good life.
And is that everyone?
Nope. Shade. What do you do, Sean?
I look around at the other strange people and I say, I can't be here. I have something that I must do.
Do you stand up when you say that, or are you saying that from the floor?
Oh no, I've gotten up. Yes, I stand up and look around and say that.
Alright.
I turn and say, we all have our responsibilities. Just find a way out of here so that we may return to them. I start walking around the perimeter, just looking for a way down.
Okay. So you begin walking around. A disembodied voice echoes through this massive chamber and says, "You may be wondering where you are. Please, take a moment to recover your senses, and a steward will be along shortly to assist you. Your call is very important." So momentarily, as you are about here, walking around this perimeter, an angelic figure appears from the edge, sort of floats up from the edge of this platform with these sort of wispy wings of almost like liquid fire. They're see-through, sort of half transparent, and she's not flapping her wings or anything to stay up. She's just hovering there. And
An angel. Yep, I was right. I'm dead. I'm dead.
And these fiery wings are just hanging out around her, kind of wreathing her in this otherworldly light. And she floats up and hovers onto the platform and doesn't quite set down. So she's still hovering above the surface of the platform and says, "Please, gather round, everyone. It's story time."
I approach.
At her request, I stop approaching.
Angel.
Not quite. I mean, but thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
I turn to look at her. I look back at Sam's character and I go, "Well, if you're dead, why am I at your funeral?"
Did that monkey just talk?
Who are you calling a monkey?
I'm so sorry. Did that ape just talk?
Oh, that's fine.
I wonder if any of your relatives have been turned inside out by an ape.
Oh, they're all dead.
I see why.
Everyone I know is dead. It's great. Oh, man.
That explains a lot about one.
Oh, this is going to be fun.
I say, which one of you is responsible for bringing me here so that I can show you the backside of my hand? Anyone?
The angelic figure speaks up and she says, "Do not take your current situation to heart against these others. It was not their doing that brought you here. It was ours. Now please, if you would, come closer. I must speak with each of you."
I approach. I'm very interested in her flaming wings.
How close do you approach?
I don't know.
I'll come up a little bit.
Excuse me.
Yeah, for sure.
I stay where I am. I don't want to be next to someone that called me a monkey.
Yes. What is it?
Sorry.
I have to be going. I can't be here right now. I've been given a mission.
Yes, I understand that each of you has a life and responsibilities where you're from, but The fact is that our use for you supersedes such menial things. We've brought you here for a purpose. And if you will kindly give me a moment of your time, I will explain that purpose to you. As you're wondering why you're here, the truth is, in a way, so are we. You're in a place as old as time itself, for reasons that even we have not yet foreseen. But in all things, the great wheel guides our path. And its wisdom is infallible. We have existed here, guarding over the plains for millennia. We are known as the Eternal Union of Righteous Evil-Killing Agencies, or, as we like to call ourselves, E.U.R.E.K.A. Yeah. So, E.U.R.E.K.A, it says hashtag all rights reserved, hashtag seriously don't steal it, hashtag we don't have it copyrighted.
Could you? Well, what does that stand for again?
The Eternal Union of Righteous Evil-Killing Agencies.
One more time.
The Eternal Union of is not included.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just getting that now.
Right.
Yeah.
Righteous Evil-Killing, that's a hyphenated word.
Okay.
Agencies.
Okay.
So we were getting kind of outdated since we are like as old as time itself and everything. So the higher ups, we underwent what they're calling a rebranding, hence the new name and the new logo and everything. So we've taken on,
And the new employees.
right, new employees, new social media accounts, new marketing materials.
We have our personal belongings with us, right?
Yes.
I sit down and start sharpening my axe, and I stare at Sam's character.
I don't notice because I'm currently about 6 inches from her wings, inspecting them very closely.
Okay, you're like putting your fingers through them and stuff. You like touch them and she kind of gives you like an uncomfortable look, like you just poked her in the side or something and floats back off the platform. So, Sam, as you get to this edge, kind of like following her, you look down and you see this pathway of smaller platforms like this, but they're only maybe a foot or two wide, and they're all hovering in this descending staircase that kind of spirals to the bottom of this huge sphere. And so she says, yes, so we've got all new rebranded stuff, and she says, please take a stress ball, and she hands you each a little one of those little squishy balls with the E.U.R.E.K.A logo across it.
What color are they?
They're all different colors. Like there's a pink one and a green one and a blue and
Okay, I get the pink one, I put it in my mouth, and I go,
and just chew it up.
and I try and chew it, and it just squeaks in my mouth. I'm just like, what is this?
No, it's like foam. So if you chew it, it'll just.
Oh well, I spit it out.
She's like, use these in times of stress, or not, or yeah, that's anyway.
Useless.
You can.
My thing just suddenly catches fire.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Oh man, I always do that.
Oh, right.
You can think of us
Sorry.
like an all-around good guy organization. We're like the FBI, the CIA, the NSA, and the PTA combined.
Okay.
We're good. Our motto
What about
is
the NFL?
yeah, you
NCAA?
can say that too.
Okay.
Our motto is turning evil into justice. Yeah, I know. I'm not too keen on it either, but everything around here is done by committee, so sometimes we get things that we don't like.
Do we get to
Personally,
join the committees?
there's a potential for that. Yes. you
Okay.
may.
Is there a committee to decide who gets to be on the committee?
There is.
Okay.
We have several committees to decide who gets to be on each other committee.
Oh, okay.
So,
Good.
so that you'll get introduced to all that.
Okay.
Well, it is a union of agencies.
That's
so-
true.
Right. It's
Lots.
multiple. Yeah, it is multiple agencies. We're not all the same.
Mm.
We're basically a bunch of different disparate units under one roof
Mm.
around here.
Okay.
Speaking of the roof, well, you should know about the main committee, the Council of 29, but there will be time for that as well. So let me give you the $3 tour if you will just follow me down these conveniently placed steps, I will take you on a tour of the facility.
A jumping puzzle.
Yes. Yeah. Make sure you jump properly.
Yeah.
Marching order, I call ass.
Okay.
Oh, well, I'm not leaving till everyone else is going.
I call second to last. Or I'm going to throw you off.
All right, Tommy, you follow her.
Alright, I'm third to last then.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right.
If we follow you, will you bring us back to whence we came?
Yeah. So about that, not necessarily. We will. We will perhaps give you an opportunity to visit your respective homes in time, but just now, we have need of you and your particular set of skills.
Yes, but I must be getting back. I have to start my search.
Well, let's put it this way. We have a certain level of dominion over all the planes in the multiverse. So wherever it was that you need to go, we can probably put you somewhere close to that. So just think of this as, instead of you walking across whatever world or dimension you come from, you're just here, and then when you're done, you'll be where you were going, or close to it.
And how...
The sooner the better. I
Yeah,
guess
how
I
soon
should
does
follow
that
you
happen?
so we can get going.
Okay.
Does that actually have to happen? Can we be not where we
That's also an option. You can do that too if you want.
Well, we don't all have to do the
Okay.
same thing.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, and how soon is this going to happen? That we're back where we were?
Not super soon.
Okay.
Like eventually.
Is there also like a time element where we can be back when we were as well?
No, that ship is sailed.
Yeah.
The time that's passing now
My
is
ship
this,
has sailed
Yes.
without me?
Yeah, probably. Just saying. It probably has. That time that you are in is still moving at the same speed.
So the time that it was is no longer the time that it is now.
But the time that it is now is the same amount of time that has passed in the place you were before.
And
you
how
were
much time is that?
Well, let's say
I'll have the screen behind me.
roughly. How can I put this in a term that you can all understand?
Oh, now he's calling us dumb.
Roughly, and she
I
looks at
can't
each
tell.
of she looks at each of you, and she gives you what would be the equivalent of a year, 1 calendar year that has passed since you left.
Wait, what?
What?
Yes, 1 calendar year. When you were in that white zone,
Dude.
that was you traveling, right?
So how do we get that year back?
That's kind of not really a thing.
Did we age during that travel?
I mean, 1 year. You can't really tell, but 1 year, approximately.
So we're just gonna die a year.
That's about
earlier.
half the goblin's lifespan. I mean,
Yeah, it is. It's pretty much. No, there will be. Let's just say that once you learn more about this organization, you'll understand the sacrifices that you have had to make to be here will be repaid.
I think at this point, the hairs on the back of Shishka's neck stand up, and he kind of crouches down. Then he suddenly takes a run at him, and then jumps in the air and tries to attack.
This is
her
a
in the
woman,
air.
by the way.
Her,
It's a she.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So he takes a running start and then runs and jumps and tries to jump kick her.
Okay. You're
Yeah.
Off the edge.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. All right. She easily dodges out of the way, and you fall.
Oh, crap.
And make an acrobatics check.
Save or no? I guess it'd be so that would be a 15.
15. Okay. You hit the side of the wall, and it's like Luke falling from Cloud City. You just
Okay,
ride
just
the curve of
slide
the room down to the bottom.
Except there's no tunnel at the bottom. It's just
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
It's you just land on a flat floor.
okay.
And she looks down and looks at the rest of you and says, "He took the quick way down. Now, if you will please follow me."
I'm like, you have called on us for a service,
good point here. This person's asking, what about our hair? Is it like super long?
Yeah, I was gonna say when the hair
Yeah.
stands up on the back of your neck, you notice that it is long.
I see.
I'm like, you've asked this service of us. What if we refuse?
That is well within your rights. We will
But you just took a year of my life.
certainly I can understand that you might be a little upset.
Called me a monkey. How upset do you think I am?
I apologize. Clearly me. Sorry.
Let's just say that when you become a part of this organization, there are certain preservative qualities that may or may not be bestowed upon you. So you may not have to worry about your lifespan quite as much. Then again, you may.
Oh, you said preservatives. I thought you were offering me jam.
Preserves.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about my dinner I didn't eat for a year.
You're going to spend the next year thinking about that year that you didn't spend eating that.
Exactly.
Mhm.
They could at least gave me some peanuts on the trip.
Yes, you don't notice like visible signs of like what you would normally see as aging. You see a little bit of like your hair is a little bit longer, but that's really it. Like your
Okay.
fingernails aren't like super like
Yeah,
gnarly
yeah.
or anything. You just look like you've been almost preserved, encapsulated, and brought here. So, do you guys follow her down?
I already did.
Yes, yeah, you certainly did.
I think I'm second from last.
Yeah. I only moved from my spot once everyone else has cleared the platform.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'm in front.
I look back and it looks like he's not moving, so I'm like, I guess he's staying, so then I move. And then I see he's moving, so it makes me even more suspicious.
Once you're out of sight from me, then I would start walking that way. So
Oh,
you're probably
okay.
several platforms ahead.
Okay. So you're down here by yourself,
Yeah.
and you see several like portals like in the sort of they're at a very steep angle. They look like doors, but there's no visible handle or anything.
Okay.
So you're just hanging out down there.
Yeah, I'm
Very
crouched
well.
down there licking my wounds and fixing my hair.
Okay. All right. Soon you see them all come down, and she basically stands. She comes to not stand, but she comes to hover in front of one of these doors, and it opens. It's like whisks open like a Star Wars, like a
Yeah.
blast door,
Yeah.
and the staircase descends
Mm.
into this like the bright white hallway.
Okay.
So she waits there while you guys go through the door, and you go down the staircase, and then you're in this like basically network of hallways that are curving around. Like it's like this big, like a maze. Like there's hallways that go out from the room. This is all underneath.
So there's spokes and then the wheels. Going
Yeah,
around.
and then there's
Okay.
multiple rings of this hallway that are like going out as long as long as you can see.
The wheels of
Gotcha.
the base go round and round.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like that scene from The Matrix where it just keeps like it goes, it just
Oh.
keeps going like
Okay.
like as far as you can see.
Guns, lots of guns.
So she leads you down these hallways and starts turning, and you're like walking around these curved sections, and every now and then there'll be a door that's open, and if you look inside, there's all these workers that are like filing through papers and like stamping things, and it's almost like essentially she explains to you that each of the Council of 29 have their own staff that work for them. It's like an interagency meeting ground here.
Are they short, stumpy people with yellow skin and purple hair?
No, they're
Okay.
not. No, they're not Oompa Loompas.
Oh, that's too
but you do notice
I thought
that.
this was a musical.
They're singing as they
So
work.
they whistle while they work.
Oh, those kind of workers.
Yeah.
Got it.
That is a stereotype that I do not appreciate.
Yeah, well, speaking of stereotypes, you do notice that a lot of these rooms are, for the most part, racially segregated. So, like, you pass a room that's mostly bugbears and, like, a couple other races, but, like, it's mostly them. And then you pass a room of similar with Tabaxi, and they're all, like, most of them are that.
So when you
race.
pass the room, is the door open?
Some of them are. Some of them are closed.
Was
but-
the bugbear door open?
Yeah.
I holler and I'm like, got anything to eat?
If someone throws you out a chunk of raw meat.
Oh, awesome. It's been a year.
They just like open a drawer of their desk and they're like, and they just toss you out.
Been a year. I chew happily.
Yeah,
Want me to cook that for you?
I look away.
As we're walking, I'm mostly focusing on the stress ball that we got earlier and trying to figure out if there's any possible use for it.
Yeah. Alright. So she takes you down this hallway, and as she does, she explains that the Council of 29 consists of one steward for every known plane of existence. From our ancient secret fortress here in the cosmos, the Great Wheel guides our hand in dispensing peace and justice across the multiverse. # through any means necessary. That's where you come in. This fortress is located in the center of a dying star. The entire facility is only possible because the star's energy allows us to power everything from our warp tunnels in the Great Wheel itself. To the Great Wheel itself, sorry. Someday soon, in a million years or so, when the last light of this star burns out, we will have to transport ourselves to another star. There's one other key feature of being inside a celestial body like this that is very important. Does anybody want to guess what it is?
It's
Don't
really
step
hot.
outside.
You never get cold.
Okay, those are all good guesses. Close, very close.
You're never too far from s'mores.
Okay, yeah.
You don't need a candle.
Yeah. Bright?
All right, these are all very good guesses.
Yeah.
It's impenetrable. There are no doors or windows to the outer space surrounding us. The only way in or out of this facility is through the warp tunnels. The room that you came in by, all of those tunnels are going, they will take you to other planes of existence. They are the warp tunnels, or they're basically teleportation tubes, or as we like to call them, the Teletubbies.
I saw it coming. I couldn't stop
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Like a train traveling towards me that I couldn't get out of the way of.
We are the stewards of the planes. Do you understand what a great burden of responsibility that is on all of us? We are the guardians of the whole of existence as we know it. The protectors of goodness, of justice, and of peace
The
amongst the
American way.
realms of light and substance and the American way. Luminous beings are we, not this crude matter.
Last time I was steward of something, it did not go well. Just telling you that now.
Yes. Well, there's certainly the potential for this not to go well, also.
So,
It was
But-
probably expected.
so we stop crimes, technically.
We stop intraplanar crime, in a sense.
Okay, I like to report a stolen antelope.
Okay. I'm guessing we're the ones who stole that.
I have no need for serving your justice.
Oh,
My God shall tell me what to do.
I see. Okay.
How do you know this isn't your god?
I can't say that I'm interested either.
I
This is not
understand.
my cup of tea.
This is something we
I would
anticipate.
not believe in such a place. It is cold and calloused. There are no trees here.
That is true. Well, mostly true. And she brings you around a couple more hallways and takes you into this huge,
Chamber.
almost like a greenhouse, but a gigantic, just full of lush greenery. And again, the room spreads to an impossible size, and it stretches this forested area with streams and waterfalls running, stretches as
So
far
it's
as
trees
you
and
can
grass and everything.
see. Mhm.
I roll in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you're happy to see that. She says, this fortress contains what some may call a version of paradise.
I resist the urge to burn it all down.
We have a room for burning things down, for example.
Oh, thank goodness.
We have a room of lush hunting grounds. We have an arena
I am
where
more,
fighting can happen.
I am more than just
Surprises.
a beast of eating. Maybe.
And we have a stage where bards can play for huge crowds. I'm talking the hugest crowds you've ever laid eyes on.
Nothing for you, though.
Saul is disinterested.
The only thing for me is the teleportation out of here.
Yeah. Yes. We anticipated that most, if not all of you, would want to leave when we brought you here. We understand that for many it feels like being drafted into a service that you did not ask for and did not want. But I can assure you the perks of the job are more than worth it. Whatever you were doing in your life before, we can make things better for you. We can provide you with essentially any resource that your heart desires. And all we ask of you is a short period of service.
You said 1,000,000 years from now was sometime soon. So how short is this short period of service?
Yeah.
Well,
Good question.
that can be short if you would like it to be. But as I said, the only way out of here is through the teleportation tubes.
And why are we not moving towards those?
Well, we are not leaving just yet. I have brought you to a friend of mine who will explain the next step in your journey, and she floats away, leaving you in front.
Wait, what's her name?
Oh, not her name. She would have told you that. My name is Osian Haraltara.
The ghost of
Okay.
Christmas
I'm
past.
not remembering
Not,
that.
You're not going to bother writing that down. I'm trying to spell that.
And so, as you guys are in this, you guys are in this big, forested room, this whatever you would call it.
I lay in the grass.
You
I soak up the sun.
you hear the sound of what sounds like a crow, like a really loud caw coming from deeper into the woods.
Shut up, I'm trying to sleep.
He says, "You're trying to sleep." And then you open your eyes, and there's this bird, like this black bird-like face looking down at you.
Frederick backs up a lot.
Okay.
How close is he?
You guys can make checks to see if you know what this thing is.
Awesomeness checks.
A wisdom check?
Intelligence or nature or perception? Insight, investigation?
Nature.
Yes,
23.
I will. And look into
23.
it.
That'd be a 6
Okay.
from me.
10.
10.
17.
You got a whopping 2.
Tommy?
That's exactly what it sounded like.
Tommy's just crying.
I'm sorry. What did you say, Tommy?
9.
9. Okay. Anybody who got above a 15 knows that this is a kenku. It's a little short, squat, bird-looking guy. And in fact, he says, "You were trying to sleep. I was trying to sleep before you came in here. Allow me to introduce myself." And he puts a feathered hand in basically in your face and shakes it around.
I reach out to shake his hand, and my paw is like bigger than his body.
Yeah.
I'm like, I give him a finger.
He's like, "Oh, strong group you've got there. My name is Bird Durdson. I'm a member of the Council of 29. And the
Your
finest
plane must
feathered
be in
friend...
serious trouble.
The finest feathered friend you'll ever meet.
I feel
Welcome!"
like you're channeling Longhorn or whatever that cartoon chicken is. The big bird.
Foghorn Leghorn.
Foghorn Leghorn.
Ashe,
Well, Ashe, yeah. Not quite a southern accent, just kind of like a crackly voice, like a
The Crowley voice. Yeah.
yeah, like a
Yeah, but you should
Like-
use
like a weird
other
old prospector.
voices, It's much better.
Yeah, it's not a direct Foghorn Leghorn. He doesn't have a southern accent or anything like that.
And
He
a
says-
sort of stutter.
Welcome to E.U.R.E.K.A. I'm here to explain what we're gonna do next. How's that sound, everybody?
Sure.
Sounds great.
Is there a
We're
process
doing
for
it
voting
too,
members off of the council? By any chance?
There is. There's a.
Okay, just curious.
Well, we're in dire straits. Unfortunately, things aren't looking so good. You see, over the last month, 6 of our top operatives have been tracked down to locations across the multiverse and murdered in cold blood.
What? 6 of the members of the 29? So now you're just the 23?
Essentially, yeah, until we elect new members.
So that's how math works.
Doesn't that mean you have to do a bunch of rebranding and stuff?
Well, we just rebranded, and that's a whole
I know.
effort.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Well, no, we the Council of 29 isn't our brand. E.U.R.E.K.A is our brand.
oh, okay.
So the Council of 29 is just the operation who runs this thing.
Operation.
The group who runs this operation. Well, 6 of our top operatives have been killed. 1 was killed while vacationing in Galaxos Falls, another at her home in a secure underground bunker beneath the rainforests of Haranatanka. They're happening all over the place, and we cannot explain why. These are people who have been stationed in their respective locations to protect the people and beings who are there. There's a huge threat to the multiverse, and we don't know anything about it. For some reason, and this is not my fault, for some reason the Great Wheel has decided to bring the 7 of you here to help. I don't know what the Great Wheel was thinking. You probably don't either. But look at you.
Question.
Yes.
Who is the Great Wheel?
The Great Wheel is the infallible wisdom of the multiverse condensed into a wheel.
I think he's telling you what's under your feet brought you here.
Yeah. This entire facility is the Great Wheel. It's constantly in motion.
So, but you said the Great Wheel decided that to bring us here.
Yes.
Does the Great Wheel have a face or any other body part that I could punch? Because that's what I would like to do right
Question.
Stomp your feet. You're standing
Yes,
there.
you can punch or do anything you want to this entire facility,
now. Okay.
and it probably won't really do much. And he reaches down and rips up a fistful of grass, and it just grows right back. He says, "You can try to hurt the Great Wheel, but many have tried before you, and
I set the grass on fire.
okay." The grass burns down, and then it regrows.
I walk over to a tree and lift my leg up.
The tree dries itself off.
And swat you at the same time.
Now, a 7th operative, known as Devlin Spark, one of E.U.R.E.K.A's best remaining resources, has gone missing.
What?
And we can only fear the worst. I'm told he was conducting an investigation into these murders when we lost contact with him. If that is the case, his efforts were unauthorized by the Council at large. He was acting as a rogue agent. We did not approve his mission, and whichever plane Spark wound up in, we haven't been able to find him. We have reason to believe he may have been chasing the person or persons, or individuals, if you want to put it that way, responsible for these murders.
Or he may be the person responsible for these murders. That'd be a twist.
Okay, alright.
Did you just deepen your voice?
Just letting you know, that would be a twist.
I'm told that in the hours before his departure, he was half mad with vengeance over the deaths of his fellow agents. He could not be stopped. He was inconsolable. We lost contact with him and his expedition force somewhere in the Outer Plains, in a place called the Valishan Wastes, one of the most brutal and uninhabitable places in the multiverse.
Sounds like a vacation spot.
He was in charge of that place.
That is a vacation spot that we would like you to visit.
Oh, is it an all expenses paid trip?
Oh, believe it or not, it is.
Wow. We're so lucky.
And we're paying for it. A year of no meat.
The Great Wheel, in its unfathomable wisdom, has selected you, for some reason, to carry on, to further our quest for justice, and represent us as a guiding presence for the good of all throughout the universe.
Go ahead.
I noticed that time you said it's unfathomable wisdom. Was
Yes.
that to replace its infallible wisdom?
It is infallible, unfathomable, and many other adjectives
That has the F
describing
sound in it.
near infinite capacity.
Are you trying to claim that this wheel is omnipotent?
One might say that. One might say that the wheel knows what it knows, but most others are
And it
not.
goes where it goes.
I think
Yeah.
I think the crow just told you that this wheel is smarter than your god.
Oh.
And I agree with him.
I will not bow before any wheel.
Two questions.
Yes.
First of all, what's in it for us? And second of all, what happens if we say no?
Well, the first question is easier to answer than the second.
Okay.
First question is, what do you want? That's the answer to that question. You tell us what you want, and you have it.
Is this still Bird Dirtson?
Yes, this is Bird Dirtson.
Okay.
Now wait a minute, wait. You communicate with the wheel, right?
More or less. You have to be a member of the council to actually enter the chamber of the Great Wheel, of course.
There are several openings.
There are.
So
You should apply.
So wouldn't the wheel already tell you what we want?
We didn't ask it.
Someone dropped the memo.
Yeah.
Could I have something that will allow me to survive any of the planes you send us to? Like a way to breathe when there's no air, all that good stuff.
Oh yes, certainly, certainly. We will equip you with any necessary equipment for your journey. Now, keep in mind, you have been traveling here for a year. These murders all happened in the last month. The wheel knew this was the wheel knew we were going to need you before this happened. So keep that in mind if you have any doubts about the wheel's unfathomable wisdom. You're here for a reason, make no mistake. While it may be a mystery to even us, it's a reason.
I say the crow did it.
Yeah.
Yes, it was me the whole time. He takes off a mask and his face underneath looks exactly like the first one. And he takes off another one and it's still the same guy.
That beak is fake.
Everybody make a perception check.
To see if it's actually Bird Dirtson.
Oh, I rolled a 20.
I must check authenticity of beak.
13.
11.
15.
Okay.
Mine's not worth noting.
All right, if you got above a 15 or more, you hear a squeaking behind you, like almost like a squeaky wheel behind you in the hallway.
The Great Wheel. It approaches. It's a little wheel. It squeaks around. I must speak with this wheel.
It's like BB-8 just rolls around the hallways. Yep, there's the Great Wheel. There it goes again.
Alright, I rolled an at 20. What do we see?
Okay. You turn around and you see this old guy hunched over in this archaic looking wheelchair, and he's just wheeling himself, and you see him go past the door. And
Mr. Dirtson, who is that?
that's Grandpa Speedy. he's a resident of this here. I think he works in one of the outer offices. Maybe Hades or something, Gehenna, one of the outer planes.
Along with the rebranding that you did you consider like renaming yourselves, like your individual selves at all? Because it seems like that would have been appropriate.
No,
This
what?
coming from Shishka Ba'ab.
Best name in the galaxy.
Yeah, right? Come on. It's a little harsh, don't you think? No, Grandpa Speedy, he's been a fixture of this place for a long time.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah. And if you poke your head out the door, you look down the hallway and he's gone. There's no sign of him.
All right.
So on to your second question.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
That's my next. My next question was, when's the next question?
If you refuse our initial quest, then you will stay here until the quest is completed. And then when it's completed, you may go. So essentially, you may either take part in it, or you may sit out.
And we get anything we want.
Mm-hmm.
And if the quest is, like, if we fail to complete the quest, then the person will just have to wait for the next group to try it, right?
You have to wait for the next bus to leave, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, or you have to risk that it will fail. He like brings you out into the hallway, opens another door, and it's like a Scrooge McDuck vat of gold. And he's like, anything you want, and closes it and opens it again, and it's something else that your heart desires. It's a huge arena, and like it's a fighting pit in the base, and like there's huge crowds. And he closes it again, opens it, and Sean, it's a room full of these ancient artifacts. Of unfathomable value. Everything here is unfathomable. The same. And closes it again. So whatever it is that you want, you'll find it here.
Can we wish for
I
more
raise an
wishes?
eyebrow. In interest.
Yes, you can.
Wow.
I'm no believer in this great wheel or fate or whatever you may choose to call it. However, I am a believer that we can choose our own destinies, and if you have such rewards waiting for us, then I would believe I would be willing to accept the task and forge ahead.
Are we allowed to open the door that he was opening for us?
Mm-hmm.
I open it and I peek in.
It's a broom closet.
Just what I always wanted. Oh, that one was for me. Okay.
How did you do that?
I say, well, your promise of anything that I want does seem pretty enticing. So perhaps I'll try one of your quests out, so to speak, and
I see
if it's really all that you claim that it is.
And how about the rest of you? Are you willing to sit it out and hope that these others will complete it without you? Or would you like to take part?
The Great Wheel can hear us.
The Great Wheel is literally all around us. It surrounds us and binds us together in this fortress.
So I can open that door again and ask the Great Wheel to show me what I'm thinking, and it can show me.
One way to find out.
Okay. If the Great Wheel will show me what I'm thinking when I open that door, then you got me.
Okay.
I open the door and I peek in.
It's a room closet.
It's not what I'm thinking. Okay, that's dumb.
Why are you thinking about brooms?
I'm not thinking about brooms.
Yeah, clearly you're thinking about brooms.
Yeah, that's it's like saying don't think about elephants. You're gonna think about elephants. I mean,
So the
I'm actually
Stay Puft
thinking
Marshmallow Man shows
that.
up.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, what'll it be, fellas?
I'm game. I wasn't really doing anything constructive.
I was doing something, but like I said, I'll give it a try and see if it's really all that you claim that it is.
Okay.
Don't really have a to go back to anyway, so, you know.
All right. What about the two of you? Snake Man and Celestial?
Hi.
Just
Hi. Okay, so I'm gonna add the word accept to that.
Or I think it might be A-Y-E.
Yeah. I accept.
What about this, Bugbear? What if it's in like scores and scores of meat, all the meat you could ever want?
No, it's not that.
No.
It's once you complete this quest, you shall have your reward. If you decide not to go on it, then you get nothing.
Right, but would the reward for him be just like as much meat as he wants?
No.
No?
That would be for my brother.
Okay. Alright, got it.
He's the pig.
What's wrong, buddy? You too scared?
Ooh.
Says the little man that's about to get squished.
I think someone's scared.
I think I'm going to use you to light my fires.
I can do that as well.
All right.
Well, I will say the one redeeming quality of this fortress is that travel out of it is a lot faster than travel into it. If we're pulling in, it's like a tractor beam. If we're firing out, it's like a cannon. So you'll get there a lot faster than you'll get back.
Wait, so when we come back, will it take another year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
Well, approximately. It kind of depends on where you're going and where you're coming from.
That's a big price to pay.
I'm fairly certain my spell general was faster than this place.
I mean, could be. Could be.
Could we have Grandpa Speedy take us? That might go faster.
He could potentially cut down on that time. Getting there is nearly instantaneous, but getting back is potentially very long. Well, it won't necessarily be quite as long because the wheel had to find you first and observe you for a time to discern whether you were worthy, whether you were the chosen ones.
Well,
We are no chosen ones. Other than the fact that this thing
Chose us.
randomly selected us.
That's what choosing is.
Yes.
And
but-
so you were chosen. That's what the chosen 7. That's 7 ones.
I was already chosen.
so who all have agreed out of the 7?
Everyone but the Aasimar.
I don't know what that is.
Pilgrimage. I will take part. But you must promise me that I can still do that.
You will have everything you want, including a pilgrimage, if this quest is completed. Now,
So I will do one quest for you, and then I am to be released.
and then if you still wish to go back, you may do so.
Very well.
Okay.
Some short-lived campaign.
All right. So, Bird Durdson looks at you all and says, "Well, I'm glad we're all in agreement. Now it's time for your orientation."
Your voice came back. Awesome.
Hey, there you are. I just didn't want to be super annoying for the last 10 minutes. So, follow me, he says. And he again takes you down a maze-like number of hallways. And he brings you into a dark room with big, comfortable chairs. And he asks you to take a seat.
Do we have any smaller chairs for him?
They're all the same size. And no, actually, you know what? They're each comfort fitted to you.
Mine have a little tail hole in it.
Yeah, there's a little tail port in the back. And if you put your tail through it, like there's like a little massager right there.
My chair is specifically not flammable.
It's made of flame retardant material. Yeah.
Sucks.
And Tommy, when you sit down in yours, it's like a hot stone, you know, like how lizards sun themselves on hot rocks. It's like that. So it's like super, super comfortable for all of you.
And mine's just a simple mat on the floor. Sit cross-legged.
That would be like a captain's chair.
Right.
Used to my meditations.
That's true.
And so you sit down, and there's like this screen there with a little stage underneath it, like a low stage. And Bird says, "Well, now it's time for your training presentation." And he like says that part real loud. Your training presentation. And he says it again, and nothing happens. The presentation. And then all these little guys, like it's like supposed to be like a video. But there's actually just people like acting stuff out. They have like costumes on, and they're like miming and doing all this stuff.
DNA.
Yeah. It's just a little like thing like that, and it's talking about the birth of the multiverse and all the stars, and like there's like little like planets walking around and stuff, and like little halflings dressed as a big planet, and then. Like they're just acting out, and then someone is speaking through one of those little like megaphone things from the back, obviously reading off of a script because it sounds like super scripted. And it goes through this whole thing. It's like a 45-minute like live video, and they tell you all about the organization and their mission statement. It's all like boring stuff, and like everybody make a check to not fall asleep during it.
I tried to fall asleep.
You can purposely fail on checks.
Yeah, unless you want to fall asleep during it.
I got an 8.
I rolled a 4, but I don't know.
It'd be, what would it be? Constitution? I rolled a 3, it doesn't matter.
I got a 12.
I couldn't force myself to sleep. It was so annoying.
Okay. If you got a 10 or less, you fall asleep. And the lights come up at the end of the show, and you are ushered into yet another room where an array of various silvery jewelry, but almost like armored jewelry. Like there are necklaces that look like thick, and there's like thick like bracers and belts and stuff like that. And Bird Durdson says, "Now I'll turn you over to my good friend Torbek."
Are we going to go through 29 of these guys?
23.
Well, there's only 23 of us left.
Are we going to go through all 23 of these guys?
Well, just you
Only
wait.
22. One is missing.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. So Bird takes his leave, and a stereotypical dwarf comes out, and he speaks in a Scottish accent, because all dwarves speak in a Scottish accent.
Once again,
for Frederick
harmful
Von Frederick.
stereotypes.
Yeah. And he says, "Welcome to the E.U.R.E.K.A. Welcome to this place that you now are in. This is the place where you will get your communication devices. Please, if you will, take the device of your choice and fasten it to your person."
That's what it is. I figured it out. They annoy you enough here, so when you go wherever they send you, you kill everything inside.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
So please choose a thing, he says.
But they're all big and bulky.
Yeah, they're all big. And
Oh, wait, so what do they look like?
Jewelry.
yeah, they're like jewelry, but they're like the necklace is like one of those Egyptian collars, like those metal things. But it's not a collar, it's like a big
Thing with a
thick
cartouche.
thing, and then the bracer and the belt, they're all just like thick, like metallic looking things.
Alright, I guess I'll take a belt.
Okay. You put on the belt. When you fasten it around yourself, it molds to your shape and becomes like as flexible as like spandex, and it's like weightless. There's a big, in each of them they have like this big, almost like a gemstone, but it's not shiny. It's like one of the marbled pattern ones. It's like an orangish, like a beige color. And He says, if you'd like to dial the hotline, simply press the stone and maybe someone will pick up. If there's anyone manning the phones. So, this is your only way to talk to us while you're in the field.
Is there something shoulder fitted?
Not really.
Like a bandolier type thing.
Yeah.
I guess I grab a bracer. Put it on.
Okay. So you have a bracer. The same thing happens. It just molds to your.
Can I take it back off?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You're
I do
really
so just to test
suspicious.
it out.
Yeah. When you put your hand on it, it starts to harden again, and then it loosens up as you pull it off. There's really only items that would go into one of the traditional slots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, I guess I take a bracer.
Okay.
I'll probably take a belt.
Can we trade these out later?
Yeah. Glorf takes a pair of earrings. What about you, Tommy and?
Completely forgot about him. He hasn't said anything.
Yeah.
It's been very.
So what's available?
There's.
Is there anything magical by chance?
It's all. They're just communication devices for talking while you're out in the field for communicating back with the with home base.
So nothing like with a +1 to awesomeness or anything?
No, they just would take up whatever
Plus
slot
one
you put them
awesomeness.
in. So as you gain levels and you get more items, you can choose whatever you're not wearing. That's essentially the idea. So if you get a cool set of bracers, you can wear a belt, and if you have a belt, you can get a necklace or whatever. Just so you can switch them around, you don't have to use that to take up a slot.
I'm not wearing a collar like a monkey.
5th edition doesn't typically use slots.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'll do hearing.
okay.
Took a belt and wrapped it this way.
That would look cool.
What about Sean here?
Yeah. What about you,
The
Sean?
whole Wookiee effect.
Yeah.
I too will take an earring.
Okay.
Earrings.
All right. We got 3 party members wearing earrings. That's cool.
I switched to a ring.
Okay.
Because
All right.
Just 'cause.
I realized that otherwise I'd have to talk to it through my beard.
Yeah.
That might cause problems.
Right. Okay. The dwarf says, I think all that's left is to do some training. Some actual physical training.
Just tell us what you want to do and send us there. And
Well, I thought that part had already been explained to you.
send us there.
Someone told me that they already told you what you're going to be doing.
Yeah,
Finding
let's just get to the training
them
part. That
respect.
sounds like fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you go into a training room and you each match up with someone who's about your size and approximate race. Approximately. And, yeah, your approximate race. And
Trying to
you,
get kinky instead of get serious.
yeah, and you fight them. And you all lose and get beaten up.
Yeah, correct.
And Torek's like, well, the great wheel strikes again. All right. Well, I guess that's all we have for you today. Now, you're all at 1 hit point. So, I think before we send you out into the field, you should get some rest. How does that sound?
Yay.
Yeah, sure. I guess that's good.
All right. So you get up. Torek hands you over to another member of the council, who is
Sir Sleepy?
Hans P. Cricket.
Yeah.
He's a human, actually.
Yeah.
There are humans.
But he speaks by rubbing his legs together.
He's kind of like a dandy guy. He's got the big pants with the things coming out and long stockings. And he says, "My name is Hans Cricket. I will be taking you to your bed chambers."
Should have known he wasn't an actual cricket, or the crow would have ate him.
If only. If only we could be so lucky.
And so he brings you to these huge, lavish apartments, where there's like, again, the beds are like molded to you. Whatever you like for sleeping, that's what they are.
Okay.
And so you lay down and you have a perfectly comfortable sleep, and you've never slept this good in your entire life, ever.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
You sleep really good.
Mm-hmm. You wake up. Hans comes to pick you up, and he brings you back to the Chamber of the Plains, where once again you see this lady, Osai.
Ah, she's
Alright.
back.
Are you also one of the council?
I am. Yes.
Figures.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Send us where we're going, please, so we can beat some stuff up.
I will.
Is Grandpa Speedy one of the council?
You don't know.
I asked her.
He is not. He's a menial worker in someone's office. He actually just kind of skips around and does whatever he wants. So he works for a number of different. He's basically
None of us
like
can catch him, so.
he's essentially like yeah. He's like an errand boy because he's the fastest, but he's been an errand boy since he was actually a boy, like a long time ago, and he's just stayed that ever since. So a lot of times you'll see him rolling through with like packages on his lap and whatever.
Must have a heck of a retirement.
So, I'm just thinking these people must consider us quite important to have us meet with 5 out of the 22 remaining council members.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Unless, of course, they're all lying and there is no grand council or anything.
Right. Right.
Or there's only 5 left, and they're telling us there's more.
So Glorf actually refuses to go. He gets up on the platform and he looks really nervous, and he says, "No, not me." And he runs away.
Come on, little guy.
Oh, it's okay. Oh,
Oh, he was cute. Oh, man.
You could have sat on my shoulder. Never mind.
Osian floats up and she says, "Farewell, young adventurers, and may the great wheel guide your path." And she floats off and she says, "This is gonna sting a little."
Hey, what? Wait, what?
A beam of light shoots down from one of the random tunnels.
Like disintegrated into.
Yeah, you actually feel yourself start to like pulse with this otherworldly energy, and you launch off. And next thing you know, you're flying like a rocket through space.
Well, it's like the Stargate effect.
Yeah, and like the cosmos are floating past you. You see worlds and galaxies passing like clouds in the sky.
Wow.
And
I don't even know what a galaxy is.
You feel a little static in your fur?
Yeah, just a little bit.
yeah.
I don't like it.
And the next thing you know, you fly down and are gently thrust, hurtling into a sand dune that's the height of a skyscraper. And you all just land like that, like a group of shotgun shells or whatever, shot in the sand. And you're buried like this, face down in the sand, and you kind of cough and realize that like you're not hurt at all. You get out, and you're in this this extremely hot desert, looking out over sands, and
Ooh, it's nice here.
you can see basically as far as the next dune in every direction, and where these dunes block your line of sight, but it feels very hot, very remote, and everybody can make a perception check.
Nat 20.
Wow, feeling good tonight.
Man.
15.
17.
14.
16.
What is my perception? Where is it? It's a -1.
So that's 19.
So that's 19.
I just rolled a 19.
Oh wow, okay. So let's see. So Norfir and An'hek, you guys both almost at the same time, you see on the next dune, you see something glint in the sunlight.
Shiny thing.
What? Where?
Shiny thing.
The cat is interested.
Do I see it too?
Yeah.
When he points it out?
Yeah. When you points it out.
I start running toward it.
Okay.
I press my wrist indicator thing,
Okay.
and I go, "Hello."
No answer.
Great. They gave us crap.
It depresses and you hear like static on the line, almost like a radio transmitter, but then nothing on the other line.
Figures.
So you start running. Make an acrobatics check to not fall down this steep slope of sand.
That would be a 24.
Wow. Okay. So you deftly somersault and roll down to the bottom, and you start trudging up the other side, and the sand's like slipping away beneath you. What do the rest of you do?
Just slide down it.
Okay.
I walk down calmly.
All right.
I continually cast gusts of wind at myself to blow fresh air in my face.
That's nice. It's like a built-in fan.
Or cantrip.
And I make sure to stay away from him because I like how hot it is.
Okay. Tommy and Shade.
Yeah, I'll roll down.
Okay. Like
I will try to surf down.
on.
Someone else.
You have
On someone else.
you have any type of equipment that
I
can-
volunteer.
Okay. Alright, so the auntie surfs down on the dwarf.
Yeah!
Basically a live flaming sandboard. Okay.
Because why not?
Yeah, because we can.
Can I shoot fire so it looks like there's flames coming out the
Flames
back
coming
like
back,
a jet?
Alright, so you make it up to the top of the next dune long before everybody else even makes it to the bottom, except for maybe these two. And you look down in the sand, and there's this shiny, metallic thing, like a smooth surface, sort of poking up out of the sand.
Okay. I will. Sorry, what would it look like?
It's like a smooth, an area of smooth, metallic, like rounded metal
About that size.
poking out of the sand. Yeah.
I'll go over to it and touch it.
Okay. It's very, very hot.
Okay.
You take half a point of damage.
Okay. I will dig at the sand a little bit to see if
Okay.
any comes up.
All right. You dig the sand away a little bit, and the metal ends. It's just an edge, like a thin edge, and so at this point it almost looks like a shoulder plate on a set of armor.
Cauldron.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like a pauldron, like this curved piece.
Okay. I'll try and I'll use my quarterstaff to try and pry it up out of the sand.
Okay. You do. You pry it up, and it flips over, and on the underside there are these little rivets, and it's all rusted out underneath. It's just this rusted piece of metal with little attachments that once fastened it to something.
Can I tell if it's actually a pauldron, or does it just look like one?
It doesn't look. When you see the full thing, the shape is kind of weird. It's sort of
Okay.
different. It's elongated, comes to a point on one side,
Okay.
and then it's just sort of rounded.
I'll try digging a little bit more in the sand.
Okay. You don't find anything else.
Okay.
I would walk up the hill.
Okay. You see what he sees. The rest of you get up to the top.
I'm like, what do you got?
Oh, just this piece of junk. There's nothing else over here.
I cast Detect Magic
Okay.
as a ritual.
All right. You spend 10 minutes casting it.
Yeah. I just get to the top when no one else looks like they know anything, then I just sit down and meditate for 10 minutes. So you can do whatever you want in the meantime.
Yeah. I
Do
get
you
bored
tell
and
them
walk
that
away.
you're doing that, or do you just do it without
I just do
saying
it.
anything? Okay. So he sits down and starts meditating. What do the rest of you do?
I give him a weird look and get bored and walk away.
I
Okay.
look around more.
All right, you start. Which way do you walk?
In the same direction I was walking before.
Okay, you start walking down the side, and you see another glint in the sunlight on the downward slope of this dune.
Okay. Oh, there's another one over here. I'll walk over and start digging at that one too.
Okay.
Did you take that one with you?
Nah.
Alright, I pick it up and look at it.
It's very, very hot. You take half a point of damage.
I have big furry paws. I don't care.
You use your own fur as like an oven mitt. You kind of like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I pick it up.
Okay.
I carry it down the
All right,
hill.
you keep it with you. All right, so you're.
Thayne hasn't noticed yet.
Stop meditating with your eyes closed.
Kroth hasn't noticed yet.
Yeah. What do the rest of you do? Do you stay with the silently meditating guy, or do you keep walking?
Probably
I
mumbling
would go with the dwarf wherever he goes.
Okay. Shape.
Yeah.
Here's a good deserty.
I actually want to stay with the first artifact, and I'd like to take out my staff and start to dig it out of
Well,
the sand. Right, it's still kind of
An'hek
partially
has
in the
taken
sand.
it.
Right.
Yeah, An'hek has pulled it out and taken it with him down the side of the dune.
Never mind.
But there's another one that Shishka has seen on the downward slope of the dune.
Well, I guess I'll follow and get closer.
Okay. So, so you guys, the 5 of you, get down to it, and you pull it out. And this one is not like a smooth piece. This is actually, it's got a hinge on it, and it's mostly rusted except for like one little piece, and it's just like a metal. It's just a piece of it's just two pieces of metal
with a hinge.
that
on it.
yeah with a hinge.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, but they look like they're like bones, like metallic bones. I'll say.
Uh-oh.
Did they tell us exactly what we're doing here?
No.
Other than like trying to keep the one dude from being murdered?
They're trying to find
Find.
Devlin Spark.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They never told us even what he looked like.
No.
Nope.
That's why I tried to call him. I didn't get anything.
Yeah.
Somebody else try your communicators. See if anybody else's work. Maybe mine's busted.
I try mine.
Okay.
Hello? Hello?
Someone's like, yes, you're
Hey, what's up?
not much. How are you?
I'm pretty good. We're all fine here. How are you?
How's it going?
Granted, they're furry, like racist. They gave me the broken one.
He's furry too.
Yeah, I'm
There
pretty
he is. You guys are the only furries in this party.
Maybe he doesn't know you're furry.
I have quite a large beard.
Okay, yeah, that's almost it.
I say, can you describe to us this person that we're looking for?
Who are you looking for?
Who are we looking for?
I don't know his name. Spark.
Something
Sparky.
Spark.
Oh, Devlin Spark. Yes.
Yeah.
Sparky.
Yeah. So he is about yay tall and approximately maybe 180 pounds. No, he stands approximately 6 foot tall, about 180 pounds, and
Average height, average build.
yeah, average build.
Average hair.
He's got a
Medium
thick head of graying hair.
Does he have any metal parts?
Nope, not last I checked.
These aren't his.
Okay, good. Good to know.
Yeah, he is about I want to say 312
Okay, what race?
human.
How did he survive that long?
What do you mean? He's a member of the council.
You guys just never die?
They live in a star.
What are you
It's
talking
weird.
Oh, yeah. You guys are weird. You're right.
about? I'm sorry. What? You're breaking up.
Nothing. Never mind.
There's a sandstorm coming.
Okay.
Somebody else try and
I gotta get back to my game of tic-tac-toe.
Someone else try and call him. Someone else try and call him while he's on the phone with him. See if he picks up the other call.
I attempt to call.
The same person gets on.
What?
What is
I'm
it?
trying to play tic-tac-toe here.
Did you win?
I've lost every single game.
Are you the only one playing?
What are you talking about? Of course. How else do you play tic-tac-toe? I'm sorry, is this another prank call? Can I help you with something?
I like you. What's your name?
My name is some NPC that mans the phone lines at E.U.R.E.K.A.
Summon PC. I like you.
Mhm.
Let's
I will tell you my name if someone will add it to the wiki. Right?
the operator.
Yeah. My name is Torio Salazar.
Ooh, I like it. Okay, we'll talk later.
Oh yeah, and I'm a halfling.
All right.
You want to pick up that piece?
No, I use my quarterstaff to flip it up into the air to you.
By this
I'm
point,
not catching it.
by this point, is Kroth done?
No, not even close. It's been like 3 minutes.
Okay.
Still meditating. So you guys move on.
Eventually, they'll realize the thing's not there anymore.
Yeah, if they're like getting quiet and distant, then I'll just give up. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What do you guys do? Keep moving down the side of the dune.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep looking in the same direction.
I kind of take my pack and see if I can knock the new piece into my pack, and I drop the other one in there.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Walking on top of the dunes is more. It's hard to go up and down.
Yeah. As you get to the bottom of this one, though, you look over and around the side of the next one, you can see in the distance there's an area where the sand has been like disrupted. Like, you know how the wind sort of molds the sand and flattens it out? You can see this place where there's a bunch of like shadows on the sand where it looks like it's been stepped on or changed or something.
Okay.
A hobbit
I think we'll follow that.
Okay.
It looks like a trail.
No, it's like an area.
Okay.
Okay. So you go over there and you see, half buried in the sand, there's all these other parts. And they're mechanical in nature. There's metal plates and moving like gears and rotating pieces and things like that. Just all like scattered across the sand. And then everybody who's over there can make a perception check.
Perception.
18.
16.
Make that a 9.
Okay.
15.
Alright.
18.
Okay. With a 15 or above, you hear shouting and the sounds of battle coming from around the side of the dune.
Oh,
Ooh, that sounds promising.
do you guys hear that?
Sure.
We should probably go check that out.
Onward.
All right. We go in that direction.
Okay.
I have no want for war.
Do you stay there?
You're boring.
Yeah.
You know?
Have fun staying here.
I do stay there.
Okay. So Thane's on the top of the back
Okay.
dune.
If I can hear them all getting ready to go far away though, right?
They're all too far away for you to hear now.
Well, I said if they're sounding distant, then I would give up and start following.
Okay. Alright, so you start following them. Alright, so Sean, you just sit down and chill there?
I'll crack open a book, but I'll stay in a place on top of the dune so that I can peer over it.
You are
Just in
at the
case.
bottom of a dune right now, so you'd have to
I'm at
climb
the
all the way up.
bottom.
Yeah. Which is
so
what
I
they're
will
doing.
climb to the top of the dune to get a better vantage,
Okay, so
but I
you're
will not.
alright. So you're essentially going where they're going because they're going up the side of the dune to see what's on the other side. Are you guys just walking regularly? Are you stealthing? Are you running? How are you moving?
I'm not being careful. What about you guys?
I'll run up to the top of the dune and then try to like peek over the top and be stealthy in that way.
Okay.
I will walk slowly and be stealthy. I am no stranger to war.
All right.
I see them being careful, and I'm like, can I try to be a little bit quiet?
Okay.
Yes.
If you're being stealthy, make a stealth check.
Make a stealth check.
Ooh, a whopping 4. I guess I can't be stealthy inside.
6.
21.
I'm assuming still far away.
Yeah.
No, you're probably not there yet.
So there's a 7, huh? Okay. Well, you make it to the top of the dune, and you look down on the other side, and you see a bunch of black-clad figures having a battle with these metallic creatures that look like it's a smorgasbord of just random. They look like the so not quite like the droids in the Jawa ship in the first Star Wars. They're just like all kinds of different weird little things. Some of them have like these little spindly wings, and others are like a big like sphere with an eye in the center.
Okay.
And all the metal guys are fighting these black-clad figures.
How many of each are there?
About a dozen or two. Actually, yeah, closer to 2 dozen.
Who do you think are the good guys and who are the bad guys?
I have no idea. I don't know what to do because maybe we should let them fight it out, and then once they're done, we'll go and fight the victors.
No one seems to have noticed you yet.
Are any of them wearing any type of emblems or anything?
Nope, not that you can see. They're pretty far away. Remember, these dunes are very, very tall,
I
so...
press the button on my wrist.
Okay. What?
Who are the good guys and who are the bad guys?
What are you talking about? Please stop prank calling me.
I describe what I see.
What?
I describe what I see.
Like how?
Okay, there's these metal things that seem to be droids or robots or something fighting these dudes in black.
Are you high right now?
No, I'm telling you what's in front of me.
Okay, I'm not there. What do you want me to do about it?
Where are we and what are we supposed to be fighting?
Oh, you guys are the ones who went to... Wait, remind me one more time again?
We're looking for Spark.
Oh, yeah, right. You're looking for Devon Spark. Yeah, you are on the plane Mechanus? Mechanus, something like that?
Sure.
Mechanus. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, so the metal things you see are probably like mono drones or something. And the... Let's see, what else was there? The people in black?
People in black.
Those are probably members of the expeditionary force that we sent out before you when we didn't think that you were coming. So they're probably the guys that from E.U.R.E.K.A that are looking for Devlin Spark also.
So dudes in black are good guys, technically?
I mean, yeah, sure.
Because if you don't tell me, I'm going to kill them all.
Well, yeah, I mean, some people get along with the mono drones, so it's really, I mean, take it or leave it.
It's a question of perspective.
Yeah,
is what
it's your pick.
I'm not picking either. I'm sitting in the sand. Good day. Hope you lose at tic-tac-toe. I sit down. I don't know what to fight.
Okay. So you watch this battle play out, and for a while it looks like the black-clad figures are holding their own, but then there's a like a pulsating in the sand, and you see more of these metal creatures just shoot up from the sand around them, and like every time one of these drones gets shattered and drops into pieces, another one seems to pop up almost like automatically out of the sand and keep fighting them. And so the mono drones begin to take the upper hand, and they're starting to kill these dudes.
How many are there at this point?
About 2 dozen of each.
Okay, I got an idea. I stand up on top of the dune looking down at the battle, and I yell, "Eureka!"
One of the guys in black looks back at you and he's like, huh? And then one of the drones cuts his head off.
That didn't work.
So much for that idea.
And then the drones look up at you and they're like, and then you look down at your feet and you see this pulsating happening in the sand.
Uh-oh.
Roll for initiative.
Have I gotten there yet since we're watching the battle?
Yeah, you're there.
I think I've decided on what side we're on.
I think you're right.
2.
6.
All right,
7.
8.
9. Yeah.
Okay.
This episode of Sesame Street has been brought to you by 2, 6, 7, 9.
All right, I need everybody's character's name. So who got the 6?
So I did make up the
An'hek.
initiative cards. If you,
Oh,
if you want me
perfect,
to
yeah.
keep track of that.
Do you have bad guy cards?
I do.
Awesome.
Just like random art and stuff.
Sweet. Okay.
Alright, so you should probably just do that.
Yeah.
I imagine you didn't think robots to bring.
No, but I left space on top to write in case there were like different bad guys.
Okay, bad guys are going on a 9 with a dex bonus of +1.
Okay. I have +5 dex, so I'll go before them. And then everybody else?
An'hek got 6.
6.
7 for Kroth.
Kroth 7.
I mean, sorry, 8 for Kroth,
Yeah,
7 for...
7 for Frederick.
Okay.
Norfir 2.
Here's a 2. Saul? Saul? Jer?
Somebody call Saul.
Tommy?
Call Saul.
You better call Saul.
11. I got 11.
I'm in trouble. I need to call Saul.
Alright.
Alright, cool. Saul's up first.
Okay, so you guys are kind of up here on this dune. We'll just say that this is like the line of
Dune.
sand. Yeah, the line of dune, and then they're way down here fighting. They're probably, it's probably a good 100 or 200 feet down to the bottom of this thing. So
He
you guys-
literally drew a line in the sand.
and then these metallic creatures shoot up.
Like Abraham Lincoln.
All around. They all have the-
Made of copper,
they all
coating
have the
zinc.
face of Abraham.
4 score and 12 pennies ago.
Yeah. So they all shoot up. And so they're going on a 9, like I said.
Okay. Saul is first.
These are like the drones in He-Man.
Okay, so I get within...
That one.
Oh, yeah. I start viciously mocking them.
Okay, you're surrounded by them, so there are several that are close to you. So vicious mockery, what does that do?
What's camper? It's
Psychic damage.
psychic damage. I wonder if that'll work on these.
Tommy? Oh,
I'm
yeah,
trying
there.
to remember what that does. One sec.
Oh, okay.
So they make a wisdom saving throw. That person DC 15.
And what happens?
1d4 psychic damage and disadvantage on the next attack roll.
If they fail.
Okay. And what's the range?
60 feet.
60 feet.
60 feet. Alright, so I think you got just about all of them.
Well, it's only one.
No, it's single target.
Oh, single target, okay.
And I do 3 damage if I hit.
Okay.
That's it for me.
Okay, it failed. And you did 3 damage?
3 damage and they have disadvantage.
Okay.
On their next attack, yeah.
Alright, who's next? Keep going.
I am. So I'll just run up to the one in front of me and take a couple swings at it. So I've got quarterstaff. I will swing at that. Does a 17 hit?
It does.
Okay, so I hit for 6 bludgeoning. And
Okay.
then...
It explodes
Oh, well then.
into a hail of metal mechanical parts.
I can feel the bloodlust rising in me. And then I will walk up to that one and take Now I'll just kick it. And that is another 17
Okay, that hits.
for 6 more damage.
Alright, that one explodes.
Okay.
Who's next?
Oh, sorry. They are.
Yeah. You want to just give me the initiative cards?
Yeah, sure.
Alright. Okay, they advance and attack. Oh my goodness. Okay. Alright, Kroth, you are the only one who does not attack.
Because you were farther away from them.
Alright. An'hek. Does an 18 hit?
Yes.
Okay. You take a massive 3 damage.
Ouch.
And does a 15 hit?
Armor class is 15.
Okay. You take another 5. Alright. Shishka, 18 to hit.
Yes.
Okay. You take 3.
Alright.
And that one misses. Okay. Lord Frederick, 12 misses you.
Misses.
Okay. Norfir, that misses, and that also misses. And then disadvantage against Saul. Yep, 11 will miss. And then does a 17 hit you, Saul?
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
Okay.
it does.
You take 2. Okay.
Okay, 2.
Kroth, you're next.
Alright. Yeah, this will make you happy. I cast Create Bonfire.
Yeah!
on one that's right next to
Create bonfire.
Sam.
Lord Frederick.
Lord Frederick. So,
Call me Freddy, it's fine.
so that is a dex save.
Okay. Got a 4.
Okay, so he takes 4 fire damage.
Alright.
And the fire just stays there. So it will continue to take damage if it stays the same time.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Alright, done.
So short range is
Um,
just roll like normal.
two-handed fighting.
Yeah, I don't see anything else to do.
there's
I guess I'll
two different weapons.
shift over a little bit.
You'd need
Okay.
like 2 hand
Lord Frederick.
axes or something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I guess you have 2 hand axes.
Yeah.
Alright, so I can. Oh, that one moved. Oh, no, okay. I'm there. No, okay. No, I don't want. Okay. Burn hands won't work here. Someone's in the way. Okay. Okay.
I'm not sure that thing's intelligent enough to leave the fire. So.
If I'm move, I'll get the attack of opportunity on me, I think.
Only if you run away from it.
Can I get close enough to hit the other one?
Yeah.
They
No.
both have to be light weapons,
Okay.
though.
Alright, so, well, I mean, I was this one.
Yeah.
Actually, wait.
Still works.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah, so
I'm getting the one in the
both
fire.
have to be light.
Okay.
Um,
You're meant for throwing.
with my,
Throwing is
I'm
different.
gonna be
Let's
using
see.
with my Warhammer, but also using green flame based cantrip.
So it'd be like
Okay.
So,
club,
first,
dagger,
just
yeah,
the attack.
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So you got 2 ranges.
12.
20.
That misses.
Yeah,
that's,
okay,
Yeah,
well.
that's for throwing.
Yeah.
Alright, that's it.
Okay. An'hek.
Okay, so I can pull my 2 hand axes and do 2 attacks.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm gonna do. Since there's 2 of them, I'm gonna flip around, pull 2 hand axes, and I'm gonna go whacka whacka.
Alright.
See, what am I adding to my
Yeah,
attack?
so this is the that's That's
The
right.
7? Okay.
Yeah, that's 7.
So I got a 14 on one and 21 on the other.
The 21 hits.
Alright.
So, with your offhand, you don't add strength to your damage.
Yeah, so I guess, yeah, I should have said. So in this case, it's just the d6 there for damage.
Yeah. That's D. Wait, you don't add the +5?
When
Yeah,
you,
right.
for the second attack,
For
you
your
don't
offhand.
add. Yeah, if you're doing 2 attacks, you only add it for the first one.
Okay, so that one does get it.
Yeah, you'll have to specify in the future which
Yeah.
ones.
Okay. Alright. So 5 and 5 is 10.
Alright. It explodes.
Alright.
In your face. Done after that?
Done.
Norfir.
Alright, so we'll do green. We'll make that second.
We must fight.
Well, you're
So
surrounded
Norfir's
by
most wounded, right?
You're surrounded by 3 of them, so you can choose not to fight if you would like, but it would be in your best interest to defend yourself. So there's one that's diagonally behind you that is in fire right now, that is wounded, and the other 2 in front of and behind you are not.
Okay, as a bonus action, I will cast Shillelagh on my quarterstaff.
Alrighty. Okay.
So, does it, like, grow green and all magical and awesome?
It does.
Get
Your quarterstaff is shillayed.
Alright, so the one that's on fire, I will turn around and smack it with my quarterstaff.
Okay.
If it's chalet, did he buy it dinner first?
Okay, 15 to hit.
That hits.
Unless I'm calculating this wrong.
It does.
No, it's 4 damage.
4 damage. Alright. It had already taken 4, so it does indeed explode in a fiery death ball and burning
Oh,
pieces
that
of.
sounds dangerous. Am I
Yeah.
close by to this death ball?
You are, yeah, burning pieces of slag eat through your skin. No, I'm just kidding. It just explodes. Anything else?
You don't get maimed or scarred or anything.
Am I allowed to do anything else? I did a
Move.
bonus action and a normal action.
You can move, but
I
not
will
ve-
move closer to our bugbear.
Okay. By 1, yeah, you can take 1 step toward him without taking opportunity attacks.
He's trying to take shelter in my shade.
That's right. And your big furry.
Your fur, yeah.
I must be really hot.
Yeah. All right, Saul.
Okay. So there's 2 in front of me.
Yep.
Right now. Okay.
Awesome.
I attacked the one I wounded previously
Okay.
with the rapier and my dagger. Wait, does anyone need any healing
Sure, I'll take some.
by chance? Anyone?
I feel like you guys should be
I
asking
mean,
me this
I've
question.
taken 8 out of 16.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you should be asking that question.
Is that a no?
Do you have a healing spell that you can use at range?
Yeah, I have healing word.
40 feet.
Okay.
I think that's out of reach.
An'hek is within 40 feet.
And I think it's 30.
Oh, it's 30. Okay, yeah, then An'hek's out of range currently.
I'd be alright.
So, does anyone need attack?
An'hek needs it, but he's out of range.
Okay. So, 17.
Yep, that
Does
hits.
that hit?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, healing word is 60 feet. So
Oh, it's 60 feet. Well,
Right. I think it's probably better to attack
yeah.
since you're already killed one of the 2.
So,
I'm alright.
17, does that hit?
Yeah, it does.
And then the next one misses. And I do 3 points of damage.
Alright. It does.
Sweet.
Cool.
It
Okay,
explodes. Alright.
I shout to you,
that's it for me.
move out of the way, gesturing behind you. Or just
I'm
farther
gonna
away.
be out of the way.
Okay. Shishka.
Hopefully they won't move too much.
Sorry. Alright. I will take a whack with my stick at that guy.
Okay.
And there it is. 19 to hit.
Okay.
And 13 damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Alright, then I'll turn around and elbow the other guy.
Okay.
That's an 11 to hit.
Yeah, man.
Okay, 6 damage.
No, sorry, the
Oh,
11 does not hit.
Alright. Alright, then that's my turn.
Alright. Next is them. Okay, so you see these other ones pop out, and like they either waddle or fly towards you, but as they do, a couple of them stop and they look down at the fallen, like the exploded bodies of their brethren, and some of them are like, ooh, and they'll like pull off their leg and like replace it for a better one, and then come at you.
Question.
Yeah.
Does it seem like a 1-to-1 ratio for every one that we kill, another one pops up, or is it just like?
No.
It just
No,
seems- Okay.
it's approximate but not exact.
Okay.
Okay.
I was hoping to have a clear shot.
An'hek, I critted you,
Ouch.
Ooh.
so you take 7.
Oh boy.
Shishka, I missed. Kroth, I critted you too.
Crit the wizard, alright.
That's a
You
great
take
band
8.
name.
I'm down.
Oh my gosh,
no.
on it.
I have 6 hit points.
Oh my goodness, good old first level, huh?
I have to say, Crit the Wizard is a great band name.
Lord Frederick, 11 doesn't hit you, I assume.
No.
Norfir, miss. And miss and hit on Saul. Saul, you take 3. They're done. Back to Kroth. Death save. And then it'll be Lord Frederick. Okay? Freddy.
Okay.
Pretty.
Seeing this guy fall,
This
Oh.
fine gentleman.
this fine gentleman fall down, I am enraged, and with my Phoenix sorcery, I activate the Mantle of Flame,
Ooh.
or as I like to call it, the Blazing Beard.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
As my beard catches fire. No, my beard becomes fire, and all my hair just bursts into flame. And now,
Read the rules text. This ability
for the
works.
next minute, I shed bright light, 30 feet, and dim light, an additional 30. Any creature that either touches me or hits me with a melee attack takes 3 damage.
Oh.
My charisma modifier, and I do a little extra damage when I do fire damage.
Dang. Sick.
Can't use it again until after a long rest.
Alright.
Okay.
So you've got guys that are now flanking you.
Yeah. Well, I will. That took my bonus action, so I'm just gonna hit.
Oh yeah, you should probably do that.
I was thinking about that.
Which one shall I
How many hit points do you have left, Andy?
I'll hit this one.
Okay.
I'll attack.
Oh yeah, I don't even have to keep track of experience. That's right. We're doing
Yeah,
we're doing level
that's
up
right.
after each. Yeah, gosh, I was like trying to.
Okay. That's
Unfortunately, this.
that's a 12
resistance
again.
Won't really help.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause it just-
Okay.
it's a-
But if he hits me, he will take
Don't
damage.
take damage.
unless
Okay.
they do
An'hek.
damage.
I'm just gonna do whack-a-wacka.
You're
Alright.
not going to rage?
It's not gonna make it matter. I got 1 hit
The
point.
resistance. yeah,
Resistance is
so-
half, so
But it rounds up,
Resistance
so.
is futile.
yeah. So I rage at this point. I'm just gonna yell and fall over.
Ah.
All right. So this is roll 1. There's the +5. That doesn't have the plus.
Okay.
Oh crap! That just went all the way over there. All right. That's an 11. That was a 16. We are adding 7 to those.
7 both, yeah.
So we have a 18 and a 23.
Yeah. Do you do
That's
less than like a million damage?
Does a minimum of 6 on
Okay.
one
It's
and
dead ski.
minimum of 1 on the other.
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, okay.
Move and roll for the next attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can run up to that one and
Yeah, because I just feel like running into danger again. Why not? So you use the second attack on that one?
Yes.
So now you just roll the d6 for damage.
Okay. 4 plus 5. No plus. So 4.
4.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the second.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Norfir.
Okay, so the first thing I like to do is I want to use my bonus action to cast Shield of Faith.
Mm.
A shimmering field will appear and surround my dear friend, the bugbear, granting him +2.
Wow.
Your dear friend being nice to you.
Alright.
So I have a glow around me now.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea where that came from.
Yeah, you're a sparkly bugbear now.
I'm sparkly.
You didn't think your day was gonna go this way,
I
did
got sparkly.
you? Alright.
Is he within walking distance of me?
He is only 10 feet away, but you have 3 dudes on you. So
I
if
still
you,
have 3 robots on me?
yeah, another one popped out and came towards you. You haven't. I keep missing you though. You haven't been. hit
Also,
once.
Kroth is on the ground.
Yeah.
Would you give me a +2, right?
So you see? Yeah.
Yeah, so Kroth is down.
Because I'm shiny. If anybody's watched Moana.
Oh yeah. I love him. What's his name? Gerard.
Something.
Yeah,
The
guy
crab
from
thing.
Flight of the
say
Conchords.
Tamako.
Oh, Jermaine.
Yeah, Jermaine Johnson.
Jermaine Johnson. Whatever, Jermaine.
Are
Whatever.
any of the bots around me wounded?
No. None of them have been hit.
Damaged?
Nope.
Okay. I'm going to spend my action doing something different then. I'm going to cast Command
Jermaine Clement.
on...
There you go.
Huh?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. So I'll cast Command on the robot that's between me and our bugbear friend.
Okay, there's one that's sort of. Well, okay. So the one that he wounded last turn?
Yeah, and I will command it to halt.
Okay, you cast your spell, and you feel almost like the magical energy from your spell leaves your body, and it washes over this construct and dissipates, and appears to have no effect.
Okay. I know that command doesn't work on undead, but it doesn't work on
They're machines.
Looks like
Machina either.
looks
Yeah.
like he's got mechanical minds that won't
Mhm.
work.
Dang it.
Yeah, it's worth a shot. You
Yeah,
never know.
it was-
It could have
Still
worked.
my turn.
No, it was good. You still gave him Shield of Faith.
Yeah.
No, he
Wait, did you not do it?
didn't. He changed
Oh,
his action.
okay. Okay, gotcha.
Okay, yeah.
Oh.
So you were useless
Yeah.
then. Yeah.
I mean, you're learning more about things.
So he didn't cast
You
you?
did not Shield of Faith.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, I didn't Shield of Faith? It's a bonus action.
Oh, it's a bonus action. Okay,
No,
then
you
yeah.
can only cast one spell in a turn.
Oh, even if
Even
one
if
is
it's
a
a
bonus
bonus
action?
action?
Oh, yeah, no, he didn't.
Yes! Yes!
Tell me if I'm shiny or not.
You're not shiny.
I'm not shiny. Alright.
Okay, Saul, your turn?
He's not shiny.
I don't think I would like being
Yeah,
shiny.
you're not shiny. You, Saul. You got 2 on you.
So I do healing word on Kroth. He's still down, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Thank
Yep.
Saul, turn to 3.86. You got 2 on you. I'll try and cover you.
Is Kroth down?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I cast healing word and he heals 7.
Okay.
Painful.
And
That's
then
fine.
I
Why did I
attack
run
in
up
front
to
of me,
that thing?
and does a 13 hit?
Oh,
no.
You got the reach.
always have reach.
Does not.
Dude, you always have reach.
I have a DM question rule.
Yeah.
I didn't really need to run up. You guys suggested that, but I didn't really need
These
to. I have
robots are
reach.
very strategically positioned.
Okay.
Yeah. So
My heal is a melee heal, so
he would have to
okay.
step to me before
So-
you hit me.
So Kroth,
Okay.
you healed 7. Do you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, we hear you.
Does the 13 hit
No, it does not. I said.
with the rapier?
So that's the end.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you're attacking with. A 13 does not hit.
Okay.
Shishka.
Okay, so I tried to hit it with my rapier and I healed Kroth. So
Yeah, I got
that's
it.
right.
Kroth is good to go. He's at max now.
Cool.
Me?
Yep, Shishka.
Okay. I will action, quarterstaff, 21.
Yep.
And where's my sheet?
It'd be really nice if the guy in front of you were gone before.
10 damage.
Oh yeah.
And then that guy. I will run up the sand dune, and I guess I'll run in between you two.
Okay. You can keep going to get around here. So
Yeah, that's true. I'll just do that.
Or just flank.
And
Yeah, true.
yeah,
There you go.
all right. And then take a punch for 16.
Yep.
And
Yes,
7 damage.
correct. The correct number of damages.
All right.
Alright. On their turn, you see another group of them burst up
Yep.
from the sand over here and start moving towards you. You only get a little ways though.
Wow.
What are we
That's a lot of them.
supposed to do against all these guys?
Yeah. What's happening with the battle?
The
Down below.
black clad dudes are starting to like super lose.
Oh
They're in
man.
the same situation we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we supposed to do?
Alright, these guys who are around you will attack. Let's do this. 21 against you, Norfir.
21 damage.
21 hit to hit.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
I explode.
Assuming that hits.
Yeah, my armor class is 9.
Okay. Wow, what? Is that right?
That's right.
How do you have a 9?
How do you have a 9? You're a cleric.
I'm looking at my character sheet.
That can't be right. I've never heard of somebody with that low of an armor class.
You would have to be wear no armor and have a negative dex
Yeah.
in order for that to happen.
I'm on the D&D Beyond website. Do you think it's just miscalculated?
Do you have armor equipped?
I'm getting a -1 to dex bonus. Oh, apparently it didn't equip my armor. I'm supposed
okay.
to have. I think
Okay, well,
medium.
21 still hits you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 21 still hit, but you got
No,
more
it
than
still
that.
hits, but I'm worried that it's not like the website isn't calculated correctly.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
Oh, it's
not.
definitely not.
Yeah.
What type of armor are you wearing?
It
Like
should be in medium.
chain or there's different kinds of medium.
Yeah, cleric medium armor is what the blurb says on my character sheet.
Just keep going.
I
Okay.
get a
All right.
-1. I
So
get 1 because of my dexterity.
yeah, so I'm gonna assume a 12 does not hit you, but for the 21 you take 5 damage.
Okay.
And then Saul, a 20 to hit you. You take 4 from that. And then a 21 to hit you, and you take 5.
Okay, I'm down.
No, this is against Saul, not you.
Oh.
So you took 5,
How
and
much
then
to Saul?
Saul, you took 9 total.
Which domain cleric is
Is
he?
how much?
Nature.
9, Saul.
9?
Yep.
I'm down.
I only took 4 points. Is there a
You took 5, Sean.
Okay. Sorry, you guys are breaking up for me, so.
Oh,
do the
sorry.
best I can.
Okay.
It's okay.
Kroth's turn.
Yes,
No.
chainmail, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Sean, your armor class should be a 16. And then you subtract that 1 dex.
I'll see if I can like change it on the website.
Chainmail's heavy though, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Dex doesn't apply at all.
Okay. Just 16.
Oh, it doesn't apply in either direction.
Right.
Huh.
Well, I guess that's the end of the chain.
Okay.
Well, the website says I should get a -1 for my.
Well, yeah, but
dexterity.
if you're wearing heavy armor, your dex does not apply.
Yeah. If you're wearing
So-
no armor, then
I thought I didn't go with the heavy armor priest variant though. I went with
Nature-
the like druid variant.
Nature has heavy armor.
nature cleric does get heavy armor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do.
Yep.
Yeah.
You seem to know a lot about clerics.
I just looked it up.
We have the book right in front of
I
us.
looked it up in the book.
We cheated.
Kroth, you're next.
It's an open book test.
We have the answers written on our arms.
So I stand up, see that the other guys are coming towards us, and I say, we need to get out of here now. Let's try to clear a path. So I take a few steps forward and cast Thunder Wave on these three.
Ooh.
No, yeah.
Sweet.
So each of them makes a con save,
Okay.
DC 14.
Okay, fail, pass, and fail.
I rolled low damage though. 5 damage and push 10, or save for half.
Okay, so these two die.
That is these three.
I found a way to override the
there's
number,
three.
so 16.
Okay, got it. Cool. Those two die, and this guy gets pushed back 10 feet.
Only if he failed, so no.
Okay.
But he's hurt for 2.
Okay. Alright,
And then I'm going to say, let's pull out. Does this direction look clear? Does that direction look clear? What looks like the best way
the
to
fight's
run?
happening down there.
Okay, so this is not clear.
Yeah, so
But there's also baddies over there.
Eddie's coming this
So
way.
I guess
So
towards your face.
This is the way
is-
you came from.
Well, I mean, but it's also the way with no guys.
Right.
Well, we go the way we came. There were parts that were laying in the sand.
Well, they might get distracted by him.
That's true.
Alright.
Alright, well, I make it up to there.
Okay. At this juncture, will everybody please tell me their alignment?
Chaotic neutral.
Chaotic neutral.
Chaotic neutral.
Wow. I'm seriously outnumbered.
Yeah, you guys are screwed.
Neutral good.
I'm lawful neutral,
Okay.
but these guys are.
And Saul?
Oh, you are lawful neutral. Okay.
Yeah, but I think everyone else is chaotic.
Saul, what's your alignment? Saul?
I think it's chaotic good.
Chaotic good. Okay, and again.
Chaotic neutral.
Chaotic neutral. Chaotic neutral.
And Shabe, what did you say your alignment was? You're a cleric, right? Shabe,
What's up?
what was your alignment?
Oh, you didn't hear me? I totally said. Am I breaking up on your end too?
No,
Because, like,
you're coming through
it's-
clear. You said it. I just had to ask everybody else again, just because I wanted to make sure I knew everyone's individually, because they all said it at the
Gotcha.
same time.
I too am neutral good.
Neutral, good. Okay, and you are lawful neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, T11. It is Lord Frederick's turn.
Okay.
What does this mean?
There's a guy next to me. I'm gonna hit him with my hammer while being on fire.
You should pull him into your beard as you hit him with the hammer.
Wait, if they touch you, they take fire damage. Can't it grapple?
Yeah, can't you hug him and hit him?
I mean,
It takes an attack to grapple.
yeah, and then it would take a flat 3.
But all they have to do is touch him. So if he steps into it as he's hitting him with the hammer,
It doesn't work like that. Okay, come on. Dang it! I missed again.
why don't you try taunting him? Be like, hey, come on. You can't touch me. I dare you.
I missed again.
Okay.
I haven't rolled above 10 this whole time.
An'hek?
I look very impressive though. And if he attacks me, he's gonna be sorry.
Wow. Yeah, only got 2 of those. Okay. I should have bought more of those. I thought I bought more of those, but I didn't. I'm going to yell at my little cat buddy here and be like, let's go that way.
Alright.
And
Take out running.
I'm...
Cat and dog working as a team.
Can I make it to that one there?
2,
What's
4,
your movement?
6. You can
Yep.
just make it.
Yeah.
Speed 30.
I
Okay.
should be counting this whole sand thing on a slope as difficult terrain, but
Yeah,
It is. I have big feet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run up and
Snowshoes.
hit that guy.
Why don't I have to go 25 feet? Unless you want to go all the way.
no, that was 30. He was back
Right,
here.
but you can.
remember reach.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
got long
Half
lanky
the-
arms.
I'm gonna run up and hit
It's
him.
like an orangutan.
Like the ape and a ring.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a 20 with the hand axe.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I call them.
It's a bonus 5 to damage.
Yes, he does explode.
And I'm gonna use my second attack on the next guy. That's gonna be a 21 for 5 damage.
Alright.
Just kidding.
Boom.
Barbarians, man.
Yeah, dude. Norfir, you have one guy, last of the group, on you.
He's all mine. Let's see. I'll club him with my quarterstaff.
Okay.
Still shillelaghed.
Alright.
Shillelaghed?
Shillelaghed?
Shillelaghed.
I think it's Chalet. Yes.
I have shillelaghed. Sorry, it's a 16.
16, that hits. Oh, okay, 4, that's almost.
Told you it's a musical.
Very, very close. Saul.
Is
Make-
he down?
Good, yeah.
It's all down.
Make
Saul's-
a death save.
Oh, snap.
She said, "Get up." She is a
Okay, I
shit.
failed that one.
Hmm. Okay.
No, Destin.
Shishka.
Destin's boy.
But he's got a daughter.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Shishka.
So I
Oh,
said that
sorry.
would be the girl. Yes, that's the girl. He has both.
Yeah, okay. But that was the girl, right? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Let's
Okay.
see. Let's double check something. Okay. I will. Yeah, I'll run over here. 5, 10, 15, 20. Take a whatever at that thing. That's a 17 to hit for 6 damage.
Yeah, it's down.
Yeah.
And then I'll keep running. Alright.
Okay. Alright, it's them. You kind of get the impression that these are like little schools of fish swimming in a sea of sand as they kind of pop
So
up.
poetic.
Yeah, they, start following you. Okay. Back to Kroth, and we can leave initiative if you guys wish to flee.
We just need to get Saul back up on his feet.
Hmm.
That's the only issue.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got
so we
it.
can't leave initiative just yet.
Oh, that's true. We can let the bugbear carry him.
Throw him across my back.
It needs to be stabilized, though.
That's true.
Somebody slapping.
That doesn't generally help people.
I don't know. We do it all the time in our podcast.
Yeah.
It works out great for
Slap
us.
people away constantly.
Alright, I cast a ray of frost behind me as I run.
There's a frosty array behind you.
That's only a 14 to hit.
Misses.
Alright, then I just keep on running.
These guys have good armor.
Alright.
This ray of frost has a slow effect built in too.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Lord Frederick.
Okay. So. Oh man, there are so many of them. Okay. Yeah, I start running, but I also I fire a firebolt. Fire. I shoot a firebolt. That's one good. At one of the guys, one of the robots, and So. Ooh.
You hit.
17. That hits.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright.
Let's see. Where is it? It would be 7 damage, but because my blazing beard is on, it's 10 damage.
Wow.
Because
Okay.
He explodes.
if I do fire damage, I add my charisma modifier to the damage.
That's sweet. Alright.
I'm kind of a one-trick pony, but fire's my friend.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
An'hek, your turn? Unless, if that's all you're gonna do? Or you gonna
Well, I also moved. My basic movement.
4?
Yeah.
5 squares.
It'd be
20 feet.
25.
25, yeah. So, right, An'hek.
I'm gonna run over and pick up the lizard guy, throw him across my back.
You got reach, so you don't have to actually spell. You just pick him up
And run.
And, well, yeah,
Yeah.
take big steps.
I need to stabilize him though.
from. Yeah. You can stabilize this much.
Oh, that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that works.
And you.
One more.
Alright, Norfir. You have 2 groups of monodrones converging on you, and the party has begun to flee.
I'm gonna flee with the party. In fact, I'm going to try to catch up to An'hek, and can I catch up to?
You can get within 1 square of him with a move action. So there's,
My character's actually pretty fast, according to the D&D profile I made. I have 30 feet walking speed.
Yeah.
that's standard speed.
It's just that your gnome is slow.
I thought so.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna be slowed down by carrying, right?
Man.
Hold about 5 feet behind you because you can do that with your arms.
Are you a large creature or a medium creature?
He's still medium.
You're still medium?
There, now he's in
Andy?
reach.
I don't know what I am.
Yeah, just drag him behind.
He has the 5 foot reach, so he holds him out 5 feet behind him.
That's not a, that's true.
Hold him by the top of his head.
Sure, yeah. Alright, so you get over to An'hek and he holds Saul out to you, so you're within reach.
I can touch the snake.
Yep. You touch the snake.
Right, I will
The worst part is I'm holding him.
touch and cure wounds.
Alright.
I got 9.
9.
Okay.
Nice. Alright, Saul, Tommy, you feel yourself jolted awake by magic, and you are in the furry arms of a bugbear. Of An'hek. He is carrying you to safety as these drones converge on your position. So you're now awake, and it is your turn.
Don't worry, I don't like to eat snake.
How much did we heal?
9. You healed 9.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. That was a good heal.
I cast Vicious Mockery again, I guess.
Okay.
Saving throw.
If we're running away,
He got a. Let's see.
Well, I think he's still being carried, so he can take whatever happens he
And if they
wants.
fail, or damage.
Okay, you got a 14. So he fails.
I'm just saying that
He takes 4.
I don't know if we need to keep on attacking if we're just running.
Yeah. Anything else, or would you like to continue being carried?
I'll just sit back
Depends on
and
what they do
relax.
next.
Okay. He likes to relax his soul.
Yeah.
Shishka.
Yeah, I'll run. 30. Oh yeah, I'll run.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. They go, and now that everybody's up and
Do
running,
it again because it was cat thing.
Yeah, I could.
you guys want to
I just didn't wanna
continue.
show off.
to continue sort of running. They follow you lazily for.
Okay. Once they start forming a single file line behind us, I just leave a bonfire in their way. See if they run into it.
Yeah, they don't follow you that long. They follow you lazily for
I can cast bonfires too.
for a short distance, and then when they realize that they're not catching up to you, they kind of settle back and just sink into the sand.
I've been laughing maniacally the entire time I've been on fire. So,
All right. Good to know. Good to know.
Do you have a bonfire?
yes, I have a great bonfire. Everything it makes sense. You know, I'm sticking with a theme.
I can tell.
Okay, so do you travel along the ridge of the sand dune, or do you like go down the opposite side or down this side?
Stay on the top for now, I think.
Okay. All right, so you flee until the drones give up their pursuit, and then when you look back toward the battle, it looks like pretty much all the black-clad dudes are dead.
I just realized I might have had a way to save them.
And you can see the
Killed
drones sort of picking over their bodies, like picking up little trinkets they may have had on them and opening hatches in their bodies and shoving them in.
Grouped in the right way.
And they're kinda like-
drones in a fog cloud. And
They're looting the bodies, but they're only taking like the shinies,
Okay.
and they're kind of putting them away in their holes.
I might have been able to save one if I thought of something earlier. I could have cast fog cloud on the group of mod drones and told the other guys to run. That might have worked.
So do you keep moving, or do you stop and watch this happen
I'm gonna leave my fog cloud as actually a smoke cloud.
from a distance? What do you do?
By the time we run away, the black clad guys have already lost.
But yeah, they're
Okay.
Dunsky.
All right.
And so you see this looting happening where they're looking over the drones are looking over the bodies and taking stuff.
I say we keep moving. I don't want to tussle with them again.
Does that mean they have now equipped themselves with the communication devices?
Good question. Not close enough to really tell.
The next time we call, we get the sound of a droid.
Oh man, that operator's going to be played by robocalls. Yeah!
Oh, that was a good one. I like that. Okay. So the drones eventually get bored and they all like wander off in a group, and then they eventually sink down into the sand in the distance.
Alright, so in that region, did we see anything besides these guys fighting?
You didn't necessarily notice anything. I mean, you didn't really get close enough to see any of the detail. I mean, like I said, they were 200 feet away from you.
Should we go back and look at the bodies?
I think the monsters are still there, just
I
in the sand.
have one hit
Yeah.
point, so I'm going to vote no.
Do we know anything about
After
these
a
guys?
minute, I stop being on fire. Notably.
Okay. All right. That is notable. What kind of... Okay, we're playing an interplanar D&D campaign. What is the equivalent of knowledge planes in 5th edition? Is there one?
Arcana, maybe? Or religion.
Yeah, it would be like...
Yeah.
Either of those.
You know what? I'm going to say that we're going to make a special check for this campaign, and it's going to be your knowledge arcana and your knowledge religion, or your arcana and your religion combined.
Oh.
So if you have negatives to one and positives to the other, that cancels out.
They're both intelligence.
Yeah,
So-
so basically it's...
So you're going to get good. Most of you should have good or decent modifiers to this.
So I guess it makes sense that I've got really high.
It's a combined 0 bonus.
All right.
30.
30. Okay.
Natural 20
Whoa,
plus 10.
okay, yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
So
Well, as it turns out, I have a -1 intelligence, so my knowledge planes is actually -2.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mine would be 2, except I'm fluent in Arcana.
Mine's a plus 10. Which
Okay.
makes sense
Wait,
because
what
I am
was
the
it?
actual planar traveler.
That's, he's a planar wizard, yeah.
What is he combining? Arcana and what?
Arcana and religion. Yeah, I should go ahead and write those in so you can just quickly reference them.
Alright, so I know what these things are.
Yes, they are mono.
Mine's going to be a -2.
Right.
Yeah,
And
and you
I
know how to
know
fill these
about
in,
their
right?
lawful nature and
Just
such.
whatever the
They have axiomatic
modifier
minds.
is.
They can't be compelled to act in a manner contrary to their nature. or their
Dex, that would be a
instructions.
+1. And with handling, you would get
Which
wisdom.
is why they couldn't
Yeah,
be mind
wisdom.
controlled. They
Yeah.
can be commanded. And Sean's
But they leave
character
the
tried
blank
to do
there
that.
so that you can fill it in.
You also know
Don't mind that.
that you are indeed on the plane of
That way you can quickly
mechanics.
reference it.
Or
Well, there's
mechanics, however you...
What was the guy's name?
Yeah,
Never did.
Operator Torio, so what's that?
Mechanica.
Yeah,
Tori said.
Mechanus. This is the plane where the souls of people of lawful neutral alignment go after death.
Mm.
So maybe I am dead.
This also says that neutral or chaotic creatures take a -2 penalty on charisma, intelligence, or wisdom checks.
Wow.
Okay.
So,
So
all
all but two of us.
All but one of you. Only one of you is lawful.
Oh.
Everybody else is either
Oh, so
neutral,
neutral's
or
taken
chaotic.
too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep, neutral or chaotic.
So
this is
I
a
am-
lawful plane.
I am
Lawful
in my
neutral.
element here.
Yes, literally.
intelligence, wisdom, and
Kroth's
charisma.
element is sand.
My element
Apparently.
is order.
Yeah.
So, I was thinking perhaps if I go back there by myself, since I am somewhat kin to these creatures, perhaps they would not attack me so readily. Do I think, with my knowledge, do I think that might be reasonable?
Mm-hmm. That seems like a reasonable assumption.
So, if you're willing to wait here for me, I think I'll go check out the bodies.
Hmm.
And if anything comes up, I will run back.
If something comes up, call Torio and have him call us.
No, just look at me as I walk over there.
No.
No, call Torio. Have him call us.
Looking over there is just too hard.
Call the dude, tell him to give the message to Grandpa Speedy, and then he'll make his way over here to let us know.
I don't say anything else, I just walk off. Done talking with you.
Okay. So you don't call back to Torio?
No, I'm gonna go check the bodies first.
Alright, you get back to the site of the battle where the blood-strewn sand leads to the bodies of these agents of E.U.R.E.K.A. And when you get closer, you do notice that they're all wearing little patches that say E.U.R.E.K.A. with the new logo on them.
Okay, I guess I search the body to see if I have anything interesting.
Okay.
That the Madrons intake.
Yeah, the Madrons have pretty much taken everything off of them, but in the pocket of one of the guys, you find a little slip of paper.
I take it out.
You take it out.
It's a mimic.
And you open it, you unfold it, and it appears to be a small map of sorts.
Does it look any... It's like a desert map?
It looks mappy.
Yeah, it looks like a bunch of random lines and then some like circles that are overlapping each other.
That's some more circles.
It's like a chart or a map of some sort. Looks entirely unfamiliar to you.
Okay, well I pocket it.
He is a sailor, so you know better about
That's true.
Yeah, space charts.
Mhm.
space charts.
Yeah, I will say it bears a resemblance to maybe some of the charts that you may have, like the navigational charts.
He's the closest thing we got to a cartographer.
Right.
Alright, so... I guess... I have no sympathy for these people, so I'm just going to rip off one of their patches and take it since they never gave us any of them.
Okay.
And if I don't find anything else interesting, I'll just go back to the group.
Okay. Not really. You see that they each have these like standard issue sets of weaponry that the Mojans weren't interested in. They all have like these mini crossbows, like hand crossbows, and
I'll grab a couple of hand crossbows.
Okay. They've each got like they're kind of like short swords, but they almost look like short rapiers, like kind of halfway between a sword and a dagger, just like these long bladed knives with. They're not ornate handles, but they're not just like run of the mill handles. They look like they might be like an actual, like a E.U.R.E.K.A. issued weapon.
Alright, I'll take one full set of gear.
Okay.
and then an extra hand crossbow.
All right. Oh, also something that may be important. They all have water skins, and you're in a desert.
Okay, so I'll grab all the water,
Yeah.
and I'm having trouble carrying this back because
Hmm.
my strength is a 7.
Yeah, you may not actually be able to take that much of it.
I'm just dragging the water behind me in the sand.
Sit down on the dune and lick my wounds.
Okay.
He literally licks his wounds.
I literally lick my wounds.
You turn back and you start walking away, and you hear the shifting of sand behind you.
You turn and look.
Okay, you turn around, and it's one of these monodrones. He kind of like pops up, and he looks wounded. Like you can see where his metal hull has been dented and scratched and stuff. He's kind of like, oh. Sounds like he's gonna like unwind on you.
Is he coming after me?
No, he's just he comes up and just sort of stands there, and he looks like he's trying to talk to you. He's trying to say something.
Okay, so I stop and listen.
So he's got a voice that sounds like two metal sheets grating together. It's very like mechanical sounding. And he says, "Why are you traveling with those others?"
Due to circumstances beyond my control.
Ooh, we were displeased to see them in our domain.
I was displeased to see them in general.
I would like to be out of here as quickly as possible. Perhaps you could help us do that.
How could I help the likes of you?
We're looking for one who's known as Devlin Spark. If we find him, then we'll be on our way as soon as possible.
Now that's a name I've not heard in. He says, I do not know this Devlin Spark, but
I give them some description, whatever the guy told us about him.
okay, yeah. So he's like older. He's like
Average height,
thick gray
average
hair.
build.
Yeah, 6 foot, 180 pounds. Perhaps I could take you to my secundus for more information.
That would be very helpful. Thank you.
Well,
First, will you help us carry this stuff over to my friends?
And not kill them, please.
I do not know about your friends, however. They are somewhat frightening.
Where's your secundus?
Why? In Regulus, of course. The city of the Modrons.
Right. How about they follow at a distance? Would that be okay?
Well, the city of Regulus is quite a large place. It would be hard for them to follow without entering.
Okay, you can take me there, and then we'll all be on our way, and we can all be peaceful while we're there. Can we agree to that?
Well, I suppose if you are willing to vouch for each of them that their behavior will not be of an unlawful nature, then perhaps I can convince my secundus to allow you entry to the city.
Allow me to confer with them for a moment.
So what do you think he's talking with the robot about? What do you think he's talking with the robot about?
You're like, there's a robot?
Probably like robotic stuff.
How far away are they?
'Cause we can see them, right?
You can see them, but they're like way
Yeah.
in the distance.
Oh, so I've already sized up that I can't throw my throwing axe and hit that one.
Yeah.
Alright, so I said I will return as soon as possible.
What are the odds he's betrayed us and turned us over to the other side?
So you trudge all the way back.
I'm just dragging everything
Yeah,
behind
just
me.
dragging all this stuff behind you. And you're like, guys, I found some water. Alright.
Yeah, I pass out the water to everyone. And if anyone wants the hand crossbows, hand those out too. So, more importantly, this robot here claims that it will not attack us, probably, and its friends will probably not attack us if we follow it and all behave nice and orderly and peacefully. And I think it can take us to the person, or at least to someone who knows where the person is who we're trying to find.
I promise.
Otherwise, I'm gonna follow it, and you can all sit out here.
Where is it taking us?
Well, when you put it
To the
like
city of all of these things.
You want me to go into a city of all those things?
That's why you must behave yourself.
I have no trouble behaving because I can be neutral in a situation. And I am royalty, so I have no trouble obeying laws. But I have 1 hit point, and I ain't going into a city or I'm about to die. You see this? It's still bleeding.
If only there was one among us who could
How could
restore
heal
his wounds.
Yes.
Perhaps there are 2 among us.
I think they've already cast all their spells.
Oh, okay.
Have they? Have you, Tommy and Shabe? Have you guys cast all your spells already for the day?
I still have one.
You have a healing spell of some sort, right?
Yeah, healing word.
Yeah, there's one.
How about you, Shabe?
Yeah, my other spell doesn't help in this case.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. You're prepared. But Tommy is spontaneous.
Well, wait. Can't you... Yeah, that prepare, but you cast it at the same time as well. Isn't that how it works?
Yeah, he's already cast 2 spells. And I think that's the limit.
Actually,
I think
wait.
so.
No, you've already cast 2 spells, so I don't think you have any more today.
Are you talking to me?
No,
Yeah.
talking to Shabe.
Alright,
Talking to me.
so if you were healed, are you fine joining us in the city of robots?
Sure. I mean, I'm not going to sit out there in the desert and just bake.
Alright, hopefully it can convince its friends not to attack us, but I would still be on your guard.
I'm going to be on my guard.
So who needs healing? Because I'm trying to learn more about my race. I have something called Celestial Legacy.
Okay. The bugbear needs healing. An'hek, Andy's character. He's at 1 hit point of like 15.
I can heal.
Yeah, we can have the bird do it instead.
So you mean you're willing to heal me because I dragged your scaly butt out of the sand?
Yeah.
Yeah. You heal 8.
Ooh.
8. Oh, I like that. That feels good.
Ooh, do that again.
Yeah, literally do it again.
Very well. I suppose anything is sitting out here in this miserable heat.
Doesn't look like Celestial Legacy has anything to do with healing.
Oh,
Doesn't get any automatic healing spell.
It's like a light spell and some other things at higher levels.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Alright, so we all return.
Mm-hmm.
You actually, as you're talking, you hear shifting sand behind you, and he's like, "Well, have you reached a decision yet?"
We are ready to accompany you.
Oh, wonderful! I've also talked to my companions, and they have agreed that as long as you are willing to behave in a lawful manner, you may accompany us to the city of regulars.
What are your laws?
All the laws are written on the great tablet at the center of the city.
Can you not tell us some of them?
Don't ask
them.
He can tell us on the way there.
Not all of them.
This is the plane of laws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Suffice to say, no matter what you do, you're probably not doing the right thing.
Yes.
Oh. Plane of laws, meaning they got as many laws as my brother probably has worms.
Something
Alright.
like that.
We command him to stop telling us the laws, and then we follow him.
Okay. A group of Mojans, a group of Monojones, emerge from the sand around you, and they each come up behind you and wrap their arms, their hot metal arms around you,
Oh my.
and they begin to descend into the sand.
Hold on.
I'm not sure about.
They don't wait. They say the one who came to Thayne first says, "Those of you who respirate, may you want to put a hold on it for a moment."
Oh dear.
Well, how long is a moment exactly?
You're going.
The last
into
time it was a
sand.
moment, it lasted a year.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're going under the sand. What do you do?
Inhale deeply.
I hold my breath.
All right, you hold your breath. You descend
Hold my
into
breath, put my
darkness.
arm over my face.
Okay. You descend into the sand. The hot surface grows cooler, and the next thing you know, you are ascending with them into a huge cavernous space that looks a little something like this.
Ooh.
It's so cavernous.
For those of you on the stream, this probably looks like
They
nothing.
can't see that.
Yeah, that's
If
cool.
only we had multiple cameras. So you see Mojans walking or flying around throughout this entire place.
So
and
basically a city of gears and
yeah.
Bronze.
wheels and
hmm
But if they all
Perfectly symmetrical and
Yeah.
But if they all follow the laws, why would they need to be guarded? Or
Because people like us.
Yeah.
people like us. Chaos outside the walls.
Right. Right. So that building at the very center of the city, he takes you along, and like as you go, these robots give you like disapproving clicks and whirs and looks. They all like as you're walking through, they diverge to the other side and keep their distance from you. As this guy and his friends all take you toward the center of the city. Now the building at the center houses this huge stone tablet, which is actually like an obelisk with 4 sides, and the entirety of all 4 sides are like written in minuscule text, these laws. So there's like it's a huge wall of text that wraps around the whole center of this room.
I was assuming the tablet would be like a tablet computer. Considering it's a robot land.
Yeah, no, it is a gigantic stone tablet. And so he takes you through, and you continue to pass through this building. You go out the other side, and then you go down to the other end, and the passageway beyond leads into this outer area where you see all these other gears, and they're all like slowly spinning, and you realize this is just one facet of this city. This is just one part of it, and they're all like interlocked and spinning around each other.
Huh.
And so he brings you a long distance into a grand chamber, and as you're walking, he can answer any of your questions that you have.
do you have a law that
How long has this place existed?
I don't know. I've only been around for a short time.
What is the melting point of this metal?
Good.
Asking for a friend.
Well, there's all manner of different metals here. Matter of fact, you can probably find just about any metal you fancy.
Okay. Alright.
I imagine the city of Regulus has existed for as long as the plane of Mechanus has existed, which Who knows how long that is?
Is there a law that prevents you from hating on one particular race?
Our laws mostly pertain to our dealings with our own. There is no destruction permitted in the city of any kind, but we so rarely have visitors of other types that it is not usually an issue.
That does mean they can't destroy us.
That's
Unless
true.
there's another law that overrides that one. And
Right.
so.
Yeah, unless we give them permission to destroy us by doing something stupid.
Yeah. And
Which one of us might?
they just bring you out. He actually says, if you actually say that in character, he says they just bring you outside the city and destroy you.
So
It's not kill. He always uses the word destroy.
You realize we came from a great wheel into another great wheel?
yeah, totally.
A cog. Yeah, a number of cogs.
So are all of you just the souls of people who have died that were lawful?
I know nothing about my soul before I came here, but that is a theory among our kind. I have passed between bodies before. I have been destroyed, and my essence has found another construct to enter.
Do you have laws against stealing?
Yes.
What do you call it when one of your constructs takes another body part that doesn't belong to them?
That is only permissible outside the borders of the city.
Oh.
I would not try to delve too deeply into their laws. It would only confuse us.
Oh no, I'm okay with it. I just want to say if I see someone switching body parts, I don't know if it was legal or not.
Hey, thief! Stop thief! He ran off.
He took his wheel.
Anything they do is legal because they're incapable of acting unlawfully.
Okay, gotcha.
Ooh, I want to put that to the test somehow.
Yeah, me too. I want to ask, like, is it unlawful to, create laws or something like that? Like, is there a law against lawmaking?
Oh, I'm carrying parts.
You are. That's contraband.
I'm kind of wondering if it is.
Well, you took them outside of the city.
Yeah,
It's true.
they were acquired outside the city, so...
Yeah, but they're in my pack, and I'm trying to wonder if I should turn them in or.
Don't take them out.
Don't take them out. Also, they can't
What
take
if they
them...
search us?
They can't take them from you because that would be taking them inside the city.
Yeah.
So
they would
the
take-
letter of the law is very important here.
In that case, they would take him outside the city and then take the
Well, no, they could
Yeah.
search me, and if I have, I don't know if it's illegal to have these things in here. I don't know.
I don't know if possessing them is legal itself.
Oh,
Yeah,
great.
just keep it to yourself. All right, we'll follow along.
Okay. So you follow along, and before I actually use the incorrect term, he takes you to his octon.
Octon?
Yes. So in Regulus, the strict hierarchy originates from Primus, and this is all stuff that you would know from your planes check. A greater deity which resides here. Regulus consists of a total of 64 cogs. So all those cogs, a number that never varies. It's divided into 4 quarters of 16 cogs each, which each quarter is ruled by a secundus. Each quarter is in turn split into 4 regions of 4 cogs, each ruled by a quarton. And then finally the regions are further subdivided into 4 sectors of a single cog each, ruled by an octon.
Okay.
So he's taking you to his octon.
All right.
And, yes. So
Very
this
strict mathematical stuff.
So this little guy, he says, if you'll excuse me, I'm a bit damaged. I would stop to be repaired before we go before the octon, if that is permissible. And he is mainly looking at you when he says this.
I will allow it.
I guess.
Take
So,
us to your leader.
yeah, so he goes inside this little gear, and which is actually a shop, and you see and go in, and the craftsman inside, who is another Modron, takes off his damaged pieces and hammers them out and repairs their surface, and he puts them back on until he's like good as new. And then he even reaches inside at one point and starts fixing and correcting the gears and stuff, the mechanics of inside him that are in there. And when he comes out, he looks much better. He looks more like,
Stable.
alive and stable and energetic than he was.
And now his voice sounds like this.
Yeah,
It's a smooth, silky voice.
I'm Modron E.U.R.E.K.A. Man, he will tell you his name if you ask, if you want to
I
know.
didn't think Modron's had names.
Yes, I was. What's your name?
My name is Blixit.
What's it? He's expecting you to have numbers, but okay.
Blixit. My name is TK421. I'm not at my post. So now that he's repaired and he's like all, BLIXIT.
Okay. You said the city's called Regulus?
Regulus.
Okay.
REGULUS.
Well,
Also,
TK421.
replace those eyes with ones.
Yeah.
So,
Replace the eyes with ones.
yeah.
Flicks it.
So he takes you into the center of the next cog, and inside is a larger dude who looks, let's see, like basically a huge version of all of them. Except he looks like if one of them had continually assembled parts and until he was like, 4 times their size. Like his legs are like built on and whatever. He's just like this mass of like some of the parts don't even like make sense. They're just like whirring stuff like in random places.
They make perfect sense.
Right.
Yeah.
You just don't understand.
Yeah,
it.
your simple minds cannot comprehend. And he's like just sitting there on this huge, like gear-shaped throne, like, ooh, okay. And Blixit brings you inside, and he's like, "Oh, great Octon, I have brought these travelers 6 to seek an audience with your greatness." And then the Octon goes, "Blixit, what have I told you about bringing outsiders into the city?" And Blixit's like, I apologize, but this one, he is of our kind, and he requested that they be brought here for information." And he says, "Blixit, you have greatly displeased me." And he reaches out with this huge hand and just backhands Blixit, and he goes flying into the wall and smashes, and like a bunch of his pieces fall off. And he's like stunned for a minute, and then he begins to pick himself up. And the other Blixit's friends are all around you, and they're like whispering, and they're like, he has destroyed. He is destroyed. He is destroyed." And Blixit's like, "I'm fine. I'm okay. Really, I'm okay." And he's putting himself back together, and there's pieces that are not on straight. And then the Octon looks at Blixit, and he's like, and he looks over at one of his servants who's like standing in the corner and says, "Bring Blixit some oil and
Spare parts.
fine parts." Yes. And so they bring Blixit in the back to recuperate. And he says, "My sincerest apologies for that display. My temper got the better of me. What brings you to my city?"
I thought things couldn't be destroyed within.
That is not
Perhaps that is a rule that only applies to the voter.
I have not destroyed anything here today. None of you saw that. And then the other Blixit's friends are like, "Only a slight mishap Happens all the time. Nothing has been destroyed here
Not
today.
What I envisioned from the plane of life.
Blixit is fully intact, or will be shortly. In any case, what can I do for you?
This is Octin.
Yeah.
So I take a few steps forward and bow slightly. Say, oh great Octin, we came to request information on one Devlin Spark, who we believe came to this plane some time ago and has gone missing.
Devlin Spark.
Hey, a quick question. Did you check the faces of the guys who were dead?
I searched the bodies.
Alright. Could have been one of those.
Devlin Spark.
He's about 6 feet tall, an older human,
A human.
and weighs about 180 pounds or so.
Average height, average build, average hair, average face.
He looks around at all his like little servants, then gives them like a whirring, clicking series of noises, and then one of them flutters up and sits on what would, I guess, be considered his shoulder, and begins to whisper into his ear. And he says, "Indeed, the comings of humans are rare. I believe a human has passed this way. Not 3 days past. I am told he sought the cathedral." And he like pauses as he's waiting for the little guy to whisper into his ear. And he sought information about a great evil who had plagued his organization, and he sought to put an end to it.
That sounds right.
Yes, I believe that was his intent. He left this place very recently.
Could you tell us where he is, or perhaps
Where
arrange for us to meet in some way?
Oh, yes. Are you acquaintances of Mr. Spark?
We have been sent by his organization to find and retrieve him. As soon as we do so, my companions and I will remove ourselves from your presence and no longer disturb your plane.
I see. That would be an amenable solution. However, I am told, and he listens for another moment, I am told the cathedral was partly destroyed yesternight, and it is being repaired. So I doubt entry to the cathedral will be possible at this
How
juncture.
was it destroyed?
There was some manner of collapse, I'm told. A structural issue of some sort.
I would ask what your building code is, but that would not go well.
Is there any way that we could go to the cathedral or meet him?
You may go to the cathedral, but I am not certain you will gain entry.
Is there a law forbidding us entry?
Oh no.
Well, then it should be fine.
Under normal circumstances, anyone may enter the cathedral.
But because it's under repair.
Well, certainly. You see, well, I do not know that there would be anyone to stop you from entering. You may certainly attempt.
Then please give us some directions on how to get there, and we will be on our way.
Certainly. The cathedral is hidden deep in the heart of Regulus, It is a tower so tall and vast that it seems to defy the laws of physics.
But that would, of course, be impossible.
But it doesn't. It is merely cleverly and impressively made. The Modrons who guard it and are responsible for its upkeep have clearly mismanaged their tasks. But if you were to enter, I would not be able to ensure your safety.
Very well. We will take that into our own hands.
Very well. And he pulls a lever, and the floor drops out from underneath.
Just him?
What? No, all of you.
Very well, goodbye.
A big platform goes in the doors. And you guys do what?
Brian said goodbye, so I was like, "You are the weakest link."
Goodbye. Okay.
I was thinking, you're chaotic and you dare speak in his presence, so
Yeah.
you suck down the chute.
Okay.
This is twice we've been bespined.
Yeah, right. Alright, so you fall for a short time before your fall comes to an abrupt end.
Only a half year goes by.
How abrupt? Because if it's too abrupt, then,
It's pretty abrupt. You fall into like what feels like a pool, but you surface and it's actually a big vat of oil.
Yummy.
Oh, I should not be in here.
Yeah, no.
I should not be in here.
I don't want to go on fire.
I should not be in here.
And so,
What's wrong with you, dwarf?
You should seriously wash off.
This could be bad.
see, this is usually how the Octon would reward people who've done a good job.
Right,
You would drop them into a vat of oil that they would be able to wash themselves in and get all nice and squeaky clean, or non-squeaky clean, as the case may be. So it's a square pool, and so the sides are like this stone, and so you can climb out. It's like climbing out of a pool, but you're just covered. You're doused in this It's like motor oil.
Yeah.
It's like this yellow, viscous stuff.
I could not be more displeased.
Yeah, your hair's all matted. It just looks like a wet cat.
I
Yeah.
just get down on all fours and like slink into the corner.
I shake like a dog.
Yeah, start trying to get it off of me.
Okay.
I start squeezing the oil out of my beard.
I wipe the minimal amount off to be able to see and breathe and pretend like I'm okay with this.
What about you guys on the phone? Any reactions here?
To being doused in oil.
Yeah. This is great music, man.
Cool. TabletopAudio.com.
Oh, yeah.
I start lifting up my shirt and like flexing.
What?
Oh, he's all oily, man.
I guess that's true. I mean, for a snake, that's the worst things. Okay.
And he's just looking for a rock to sun
Then I
himself.
start asking like, do you want to go that way? Like I'm flexing my muscles in that direction. Or that way?
I don't think it's the right kind of oil.
He doesn't
Black.
care.
Get your tickets to the gun show.
Do you have the right to bear arms? Oh wait, we have one here.
Are you a veterinarian? Because these pythons are sick.
Alright. So you leave the pool and you look around and you're in kind of like a sort of warehouse place. And there's a bunch of other pools like it. And there's basically Modrons like kicking back.
Relaxing.
It's like a
Okay.
bathhouse.
Yeah.
And they're all just like chilling.
Frederick is starting to hyperventilate.
Yeah, some of them look like hot oil. They're like steam coming off of the oil.
I look around, see if Blixen's in there anywhere.
You do see Blixen actually. He's over in one of the pools, just lounging and kind
I ask him if he's okay.
Don't start on fire.
Yes, I will be okay.
No fire, no fire.
He kind of like sniffs and his voice breaks more than usual.
Keep it cool. Cool. No fire. Not having fire is cool. That's cool.
So I guess we try to find a way out and follow his instructions.
Okay. So all of Blixit's buddies kind of go over to him and get in the pool with him and just chill out, and they ask him if he's okay and if all his pieces are on right, and if he's feeling okay. And they all start like muttering among themselves and gossiping about how the Octum destroyed, and Blixit keeps like telling them, no, don't say that. Don't worry about it. The Octum will.
He didn't actually destroy.
Yeah, the Octum will get in trouble if you start spreading rumors, and we don't want anything to happen to our Octum because he's a wise and benevolent ruler.
Maybe there's a doppelganger that's proving that.
Smacks around his subjects.
Yeah, well.
So
So
we
you,
head to the cathedral.
yeah, so you find a door and you go out, and essentially everybody down here is the same way. They're all like avoiding you and whatever, like keeping their distance from you.
Do you have prestidigitation? Okay, so you can't clean us off. Alright.
Nope. I have gust and mage hand.
As I walk past them,
I have all of the fire
I
cantrips.
wave and go, good gears to you. Good gears to you.
Happy gears to you.
I'd say the best thing to do is to just pretend like we belong here.
Yeah, act as.
Act as if everything is normal.
We can disguise ourselves by dousing ourselves in oil.
Yes.
So
Okay.
Alright, so let's go to the temple
But
then.
wouldn't us acting like everything's normal be an insult to them because we're not like them?
No, the point is to
Yeah.
act in a lawful, orderly manner.
Yeah.
And the best way to do that is to pretend like you belong there.
Yeah. Or just be orderly. It's like
Well,
neat,
I am
organized,
orderly, I'm not-
structure, law.
Well, I don't know if I'm neat. I mean, I'm covered in oil. I mean, I guess that's neat to them. I don't feel neat.
You are just
I
leaving.
drape a cloak over my face and take a plank of wood and chant and walk up in the face with it.
And you do what in the face?
Smack myself in
Oh.
the wooden plank
Oh,
as I chant.
Okay. Alright. The Mojans look at you strangely.
I'm just trying to fit in.
So, you guys
he
wander.
does have a perfect cadence when doing it. So
Yeah, that's true.
Tsunami.
Okay.
So you wander into the city and you're just on another one of the cogs, just kind of walking around.
Okay.
Attempt to follow his directions. He wasn't exactly clear, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Okay.
Blixit with us?
No, Blixit was in the pool with all the dudes.
Okay.
if we can't figure out which way to go, then I'll stop and ask someone which way to the cathedral.
Okay.
Yeah.
The best answer you get is like a shaky finger pointed.
I just keep asking everyone whenever there's a big intersection until
Yeah. Okay.
I get there.
Alright, yeah, you eventually make it to the cathedral, and you can see this huge building. Like I said, it's this impossibly tall tower that stretches up into the distance, and it's part of it has sloughed off, and it's collapsed into rubble. But even in its damaged state, you can see these Modrons who are like flying around it almost like a swarm, like polishing it with rags and like trying to keep it shiny. And so the building itself almost looks like one of them, like it's had pieces sort of tacked onto it, and it's all this rough surface, but it looks like they take very good care of it, and so the fact that it is collapsed is quite surprising.
So he was the spark that set off this chain of events.
I get it. Also, don't talk about sparks because I might set fire to everything.
And I'm still dripping oil behind you.
Yeah, we all kind of are.
Oh, I didn't even try to clean off.
That's true.
I guess I would wipe the bottom of my shoes too, so I can walk.
Okay. What do you guys think?
So we head towards the cathedral.
All right.
Towards the largest opening.
Okay. There's a big.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. there's a big domed entry, and you go in, and what you see is, ignore the people in this picture because there's no people, but it looks like this except it's damaged. It's off kilter. This is an orrery, which is like a model. It's like a cosmic model.
Yeah.
So in this big antechamber, this is the central feature of it, but because of the collapse, several parts of this orrery have been disrupted and knocked away.
So it looks like they're trying to represent the crystal spheres and the planes. And
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Probably.
Yeah.
So
this is familiar to me.
yeah. So the central feature of the cathedral is the Modron Orrery, a perfect model of the multiverse, made of spheres and clockwork. It can be used to observe the various conjunctions of the planes, and it can even be used as a scrying device, allowing observers to see the clockwork actions of tiny people on an infinite variety of worlds, spheres, and planes, assuming the precise coordinates of those people are known. It can even be used to teleport people to any point in the cosmos.
So basically, this is better than the Cosmic Wheel. Than the Great Wheel.
Yes. This is the better wheel.
This is the better wheel.
Except that it's broken.
Except it's right.
Yeah.
But did it break because he used it to teleport?
He was probably trying to, which means he could be literally
Or
anywhere.
Or possibly using it to try and find the murderers.
It says, unfortunately, the sheer vastness and complexity of the device has been known to cause insanity.
Well, I'm fine there. I'm already crazy.
I look. Are the Modrons all inside here cleaning up too?
There's a door around the other end of it, and there are two tall robots, two tall Modrons standing guard.
Alright, I head over towards them.
They actually start coming towards you.
Well, we meet in the middle then.
I say, greetings, servants of order.
You must show your pass to gain entrance beyond this point.
The Octon did not inform us of such a thing.
Well, perhaps that is because you did not ask. A pass from the Modron Central Office of Processing and Requests must be obtained before entry can be granted.
We just came from the Octon, and
Which Octon?
the one that we talked to.
Have we changed which year we're on?
The
Which sector?
Yes.
We're like in the middle now, aren't we?
Yeah.
the Octon that Blixit reports to.
They
So
probably don't.
I'm trying to figure out how many
It's
octans
worth a
there
try.
are. So there's 64 cogs divided into 4 quarters of 16 cogs ruled by secundus. Each quarter is split into 4 regions of 4 cogs, each ruled by a quarton. The regions are subdivided into 4 sectors of okay, so there's 64
64,
octans. There's
yeah.
1 octan per cog.
Okay, yeah.
So, perhaps we don't need to gain entry, but I would ask you, has any human entered the cathedral in the last few days?
Yes. There was a human who entered here.
What happened to him?
He entered, and shortly thereafter, the cathedral partially collapsed.
That didn't answer the question. What happened to him?
I assume he died in the collapse. The rubble has not been removed.
But you did not see what happened to him.
I did not see.
You never saw him leave.
Oh, no.
Where was he when it collapsed?
Somewhere inside.
Past you?
Yes. he had received his pass from the Modron Central Office of Processing and Requests.
Which we will also do because we want to follow the rules.
Yes.
Look at you. Like,
Trying so hard.
Because I could bash their heads together.
Yeah.
And to attack them when you're surrounded by literally trillions of them.
I can take them. No, but I'll die swinging.
Alright, at this point, I touched my bracer and tried to contact. Was it Torlo or Torio?
Torio.
Torio Salazar.
Yeah, is that an entry now in the wiki?
Oh, I hadn't added one.
Oh, it
I just wrote his name down, but I couldn't read if it was.
Yeah, someone add Torio Salazar to the wiki.
because I want him to become a
You
recurring
always have to
character.
take their name down so you can talk to their manager.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Will you do that, Brian?
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
this is the
So
page.
I try to contact him.
Okay. You press your thing and there's static.
I press my thing.
There's less static.
Hello? Torio? Oreo? Cheerio?
I was simply going to report on what we had learned, but apparently.
Try pressing yours.
Oreo? Torio? Cheerio?
What if we press them all together?
Stronger signal.
Will that boost the signal?
Let's
or
try
they
it.
interfere.
1, 2, 3.
There's a, yeah,
It's
there's
just
a
a feedback loop.
feedback loop. Yeah.
Sorry.
And all the Modrons are like, there's music playing.
Okay.
What if we told them we were the new entertainment for inside
Yeah,
the
they
cathedral?
actually all gather around you. And they're like, more, play us more music.
Only
Another song.
Let's use this to our advantage. Use the joke to our advantage. Come on.
How?
If we play you more music, will you let us in?
Entrance to the cathedral can only be gained with a pass from the Modron Central Office of
How
Processing.
long does it
and
take to get a
Requests.
pass?
Approximately 12 hours.
Okay.
Okay, we need to rest anyway.
How about we get a pass afterwards? Then we'll have had the pass.
That is
So-
not how it works.
We will have gone through everything that needs to be done. It'll just be in the future, but it will still happen.
Ah, I see. Well, there must be an order to everything, and that is not the proper order.
Where is the central office?
In the central cog.
That's not very long. So which direction?
3 cogs to the left.
Wait, I got this. I look at one of the Mojins and I'm like,
Mojin. The Mojin.
Modron.
Modern.
Modron.
same thing. I look at him and I'm like, hey, if we play you some music, will you show us how to get there?
I will be glad to.
And what's your name?
My name is something robotic.
Clank it. Take it.
Yeah, I like that. Clank it.
Clank it.
Yep.
Clank it. There we
My
go.
name is Clank it.
All right, so all we got to do is brace her belt.
Okay. Alright, everybody. 3, 2, 1.
It's high screeching, and the Mojins are all like. And then as you do that, even the guards start going like.
So tapping their
tapping,
foot.
yeah, tapping their foot and then pretending like they don't care.
Interference patterns, man.
Yeah, and then all these different Mojins start like piling into the orrery. And,
Are we the Pied Piper now, or are we just
yeah,
gonna be leading
and
off?
then you see them like the ones that were up polishing the tower are like down like looking through the glass now, like jamming in.
We gotta remember this when we're back on the surface and we go to get attacked.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, and by the way,
But
it's
then
like
the communicators are going to work.
Yeah, it's
But
Oh.
then they'll work and they'll actually contact
I don't know. If we're close enough, and they may feed off of each other.
Yeah.
I don't know.
By the way,
Well,
this-
It'll be a different. It'll be a different song though. They might not like it.
Every moment of this is like excruciating for you guys, by the way.
Especially with the ones with the high pitch hearing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You guys especially. Oh man, it's the worst. So you can really only take a couple minutes of it. But as soon as you stop, they're like, "We want more! We want more!"
We'll give you more once we get back, 12 hours from now.
Please, how did you make that wonderful sound?
I don't know.
You must tell us your secrets so that we too may indulge in the auditory greatness.
You must find the great sage known as Torio Salazar, and he will tell you the secrets of this great music.
Oh, that's slick. That's slick. I like that.
Only he can reveal the secrets.
And he was in there. If he's alive, he can tell you how to do it.
The Torio Salazar is the one on the other end of the
That's the operator.
Why don't we get the other guy's name?
Devlin Spark.
Devlin Spark.
Yeah. We could say he's in there and he also knows the secret.
Yes, get them to do the looking for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I kind of did something smart by accident. A little bit. Smart adjacent.
And we, as it so happens, have access to Torio and would be willing to give you the ability to speak with him as well once you have located Devlin Spark for us.
Oh, Devlin Spark.
The human who
the
entered
human.
the cathedral.
Oh, I saw him. I believe he perished in the collapse.
We need to be sure.
We need to return his body back to the organization.
Oh. Well, they kind of like, they're still swaying in the crowd and they're like thinking, and then you can hear the gears turning.
Literally. We put the things together again.
They get distracted and start listening.
Well, no, I just want to remind them what this is for.
We must accelerate the repair process. We must repair the cathedral if we are to determine the fate of Devlin Spark.
How long will that take?
Wait, I have an idea. How about we play some music which would bring more of your friends here and maybe they can help you with the repairs?
Yes. That would help the repairs to go more speedily.
Alright guys, I'm covering my ears.
But you need one hand free to press the button.
Okay, I go like this. And I push my button against you.
The key to surviving this world of robots is more robots!
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are going to start taking hearing damage if you continue to do
We'll
this.
take sonic damage.
Yeah, it will be sonic damage.
Let's make earplugs out of whoever
Yeah,
is lying around.
Is there stuff lying around? In
I have fine
the plane
clothes.
of order?
It's super clean, especially in here.
I have fine clothes for a bugbear, like it's an extra set, so I mean if you want to wrap that around your neck.
So you just rip up your sweaty undershirt.
We can cut off bits of my
stuff
beard.
pieces of it in
Take some of the oil that's covering me and like dip cloth in it and wrap it around.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
That would block
Well,
out the sound pretty well.
Alright, you find some creative ways to plug your ears and then play music until the entire, well, what remains of the orrery is packed with monodrones.
I ran out of drones!
Yeah.
Remember cats?
Yeah, and some of them, their like fingers are like cigarette lighters, and they're like,
Yeah, so then once we stop, we ask the original ones to all ask their friends to help with the rebuild process.
all right. Word spreads quickly, and so you just tell them like if they, as soon as they repair the cathedral, you'll throw them a huge concert,
Yeah,
and it'll be like the biggest event.
yeah.
of the-
Well, no, we tell them how to make we'll tell them how to make their own music.
Oh yeah, that's what they want to do.
Right. We'll put them in contact with Torio's house.
Yeah.
That was what we actually agreed to.
Put you in contact with the great Torio Salazar, purveyor of fine music across the multiverse.
I'm so sorry, Torio. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he's gonna get so many prank calls. Yeah, that does kind of sound like the name of an infamous musician.
Yeah,
The great Torio Salazar. So they redouble their efforts and they begin removing the rubble. And the two guards that were in front of the door, they open up and let a bunch of monodrones in, and you can see there's a huge pile of rubble blocking the path, and they start taking it out, stone, whatever, shard by shard or
Or
whatever.
are we gonna be getting, the pass or whatever happening or not?
I asked one of the guards who's not working,
Okay.
since they're just guarding,
Mhm.
how long at this rate do you think it will take to get in there?
That is a good question. We haven't been inside, so we don't know which portions of the inner cathedral have been damaged or caved in. We do not know the extent of the damage, only what has happened on the outside.
Could you not use this device to see this plane and the little model of itself within itself and find out how much damage is done inside?
Perhaps if it were functional, that would be possible.
It's just going to be like an infinitely...
You look into the orrery, into the orrery, on the plane, into the orrery.
Yeah. Into the next room.
I guess we should go looking for the forms and passes to get inside.
Yeah. So, just from my understanding, this plane is not like, or I guess the denizens of the plane are not, they don't adhere to law so strictly that it's impossible for them to veer from it. It's just like...
They are the souls of lawful neutral beings.
Okay.
So that is their alignment, but that doesn't mean that they're absolute and they can't deviate from it.
Okay.
They're just...
So they still have emotion.
They live in a society where the norm is lawful neutral.
Okay.
So deviating from that is highly, highly frowned upon.
Okay.
No.
And it's not like the physics
I
of the
just
world
go with that.
itself are like purely like structured, lawful.
Well, I mean, physics is physics still.
Okay.
What were you going to say, Thayne?
I was going to say, like, officially, the
Officially.
monodrones and stuff, they wouldn't have been able to do anything that they're doing here.
Right.
They're pure law. They're like machines.
Yeah, they're programmatic. They operate on a set of instructions, but for the sake of making them a little more human, a little more relatable,
Yeah.
they actually have some emotions
Gotcha.
in this context.
So they're basically like C-3PO.
Yeah, so the ones who
Sort of secret.
the ones who get along and who stay in line can live and gain entrance to the city, but a lot of them just wander the deserts, the wastelands, and scavenge and just keep themselves up that way.
Yeah. Interesting. Customization.
So we head towards the central office.
Okay. You go to the central office, and it is indeed central.
Wow. I'm
So,
not surprised.
yeah.
Central office on
It's
the
right in the
central
middle.
cog on the central part of the plane.
Yeah. And so with this music playing, you go inside, and they're
They're all just stamping.
Yeah, they're just- they're like whatever, stamping papers or something.
All right. So
And even that is a conveyor belt that moves in a circle, and they just keep stamping the same things over and over again.
Right.
So, ask someone.
There's a long like desk with a bunch of clerks behind it. It's like the DMV. There's like tons of little monodrones.
Oh,
E27!
And you're on like
right.
1,362.
Yeah, exactly. And you take, please take a number.
No, we would be E27, but we would be on like G42.
Right. And you're like, how
It's gotta
does this
go all the way
correspond
around.
at all?
How do we lure all the other ones away with the music?
That's true.
Make them lose their place in line.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think we created the ultimate weapon against these guys by accident.
Yeah. Alright, so you get in line, and of course the line moves super slowly. And it's like, yeah, you're just like standing there like, yeah.
The DMG line's the worst type of bingo.
Eventually, when you get up to the front of the line, after it takes like 2.5 hours for you to do that. And you get up to the front of the line, and the clerk says, "How may I help you?"
We seek to gain passes to the cathedral.
Oh, just simply fill out this form. And the clerk hands you a metal clipboard with a sheet of paper. And as soon as you take it, it goes accordion sound. It's like 10 feet long.
Well, go get him, law guy. These are your people, man.
And start filling it out.
You have taken responsibility for all of us.
Just copy what I write down, but putting your own names in his place.
Yeah. You will each need to fill out a form. And he hands you each a clipboard.
I think I could just stay outside the cathedral, rock out my robot buddies.
Not if we need to like
I
go
make a will
into the
save to see
cathedral
if
to
I can
find
do
it.
it.
Okay, alright, go ahead and make a will save.
I fail. Okay, start filling them out, I guess.
You start filling them out, you fall asleep on the second page. Okay, so you guys, you fill out your entire form. That takes another hour and a half. And then when you're done...
Partway through one of my forms when it catches fire and have to get another one.
Yeah. And then you realize you have to go to the back of the line once you filled out the form and wait. Wait again. But it's getting to the busy time, so it takes 3.5 hours this time. And so you get up to the front and hand in your forms, and the clerk is like, I will need to see 2 forms of identification.
You got that E.U.R.E.K.A patch.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I pull out the E.U.R.E.K.A patch and
our our E.U.R.E.K.A
stress balls.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
All right, you bit yours to death.
Mine is a boiling puddle of goo.
Yeah, it's a smoldering
in-
ball.
I was actually thinking our E.U.R.E.K.A issue communication devices.
Yeah.
I like the stress ball better.
The stress ball was better.
Here, this identifies us as members of the organization.
Okay, so you hand the patch and the stress ball.
Yeah.
The clerk signs off on your form and then puts all of it in a drawer and closes the drawer and opens it again, and it's empty.
Yeah.
Will we be getting those back?
As soon as you return your pass, and he hands you a little. It's like a little metal card with rounded corners,
Okay.
and it just has a picture of the cathedral on
Don't
it,
want to poke anything.
like an
Thank
artist's replica. Like it's like hammered into the metal. Who's next in line?
Dang
Oh,
it.
that doesn't.
I was hoping it was for all of us.
Everybody's got to give their own.
Okay, let's see.
I only took one patch.
I think the communicators and the stress balls are a good idea, but both of us no longer have a stress ball.
Yeah.
So,
You have... I wonder if you could use 2 communicators for one person. I'll just stay outside.
Did you take earrings?
They'll have to take it. Though,
No,
don't
I
they?
took a ring.
You took a ring.
Yeah, he has a ring, and I have my
Well,
forearm thing. But
I took a belt, but then I took a ring. Did I put the belt back?
I think so.
yeah. You could
Okay.
Torbek would only let you leave that room with one of those on. He's the keeper of the comms.
that's what I'm saying. If you have your communicator and I give you mine, you can get your pass. I just won't get one.
None of
After
you guys
sitting
have
in
any
line for
other
7.5 hours.
equipment or gear that you bought that would pass as like something that identifies you?
Oh, Okay.
And obviously, it doesn't have to be like an ID card,
Oh,
but something,
okay.
something
Oh,
that makes
all right.
you you.
All right.
Something that-
My-
I have my scroll of pedigree.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
Oh,
That's a perfect idea.
Yeah.
That's a perfect idea.
yeah, it is.
I'm royalty. Here.
Oh, okay. And your
And-
communicator.
And my communicator.
Okay. Puts it into the drawer
Oh yeah, that.
They're not gonna. Yeah, we don't get it back until we return.
I still have mine.
and gives you your pass.
Okay. Well, maybe.
Oh, wait.
All right. So I have the ball and the communicator.
Okay.
Because I'm technically wearing my half-melted royal armor.
Gives you your pass.
All right.
Everybody just marked down.
I probably have like
what you gave.
I probably have like a signet ring. I was a king, man.
Yeah, dude.
Do you have a signet ring?
I think it comes with the noble thing.
Did it survive your untimely demise and
Well,
resurrection?
I imagine
No.
the scroll would have burned up. The scroll of pedigree, but I probably have like a signet ring.
Do you or don't you?
I think it comes in with the noble package.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
okay.
does. If you
It
took the
does.
noble package,
Oh, okay.
you get a signet ring and a scroll of pedigree, a purse of 25 gold, fine
Oh, yeah.
clothes.
You do your ring and your scroll instead of your communicator. Oh, you have one too.
Would you allow me to switch?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, that way we'll,
Okay.
we'll still have one way to talk to
Mhm.
Multiverse.
Okay.
Yeah, you get the ring.
Yeah, just mark down whatever you gave, so you know you got
Yeah,
right place for
the ring communicator and the ring signet.
At least you know they're lawful, so they're most likely
Yeah, they're not gonna steal
lying
it.
to you. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not gonna steal it.
Not gonna sell it.
Yeah. Alright. Tommy, what about you? Shade, what about you? Which 2 items do you give?
Tommy, you can go first.
Okay.
I don't think he'll take that.
Yeah. It's not admissible.
I don't know.
You can just do what everyone else is doing and do the ball and communicator.
The communicator and stress ball.
I will give him a vial of perfume
Oh, that's a good one.
and I think he'd like some ink, so I give him a bottle of ink.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't have any.
That doesn't have any sort of identifying. Okay.
He thinks there are 2 types of oil that you love to use on your joints, and he accepts them.
Okay, that works.
Just mark those down. Alright, Shade.
Just the one.
A vial of perfume again.
Did somebody else give earrings? Because I do have the earrings.
People have given their communicators, but nobody. I think. Who has the earrings? You and Glorf, and did somebody else take earrings? Tommy, did you take
I did.
earrings? Okay,
I did. Indeed.
but you still have yours.
Okay, so the earrings will make it so that I'm identified as a E.U.R.E.K.A agent, and I will also give him the map, the hand-drawn map. It's precious to me, but I really don't have anything on this character. It's like,
Okay.
but hear me out. It's got my village marked on it, the village of the Hidden Woods,
Okay.
and I can basically say that that's where I'm from. Therefore, my birthplace.
Okay.
Therefore, my birth certificate.
All right.
Yeah, I think that'll work.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, but I really need that map back. So we are getting this stuff back.
As soon as you return your pass, you shall receive your personal identification.
Just don't let anything happen to your
Are
past.
there
Like,
Yeah.
Are there any forms that we have to turn in along with the pass?
Simply the pass.
Okay. I was gonna say if there are, just give it to us now.
Yeah.
just don't let anybody burn your pass, or you won't get your stuff back.
Yeah. Right.
Aren't they metal?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Yeah, but they'll melt.
Yeah. Okay, so he takes your map and you said your communicator, your earrings?
Yeah.
Okay. And puts them in the drawer and they disappear. Alright, is that everybody?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, that's all.
probably could have done the earrings as 2 pieces, but whatever.
I mean, it's everyone but your character, Jack.
He's not there.
Yeah, they're not there. Glorf decided not to go at the last minute for some reason.
You didn't have
Because
2
the ones
IDs.
are cowards.
So yeah, he was cowardly and selfish and he wanted to work on his shoes instead of helping the party accomplish something. So, with your passes now in hand, you return to the Modron Cathedral.
Hey guys, that was 4.5 hours faster than he said, so I think we made good time.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All I know is
So-
I'm growing gray.
So it was like 2.5 standing online the first time, then an hour and a half to fill out your form, then 3.5 hours to stand online the second time.
It took a little bit longer for me to fill out my form because
Yeah. All right. So are you guys gonna rest before you go back?
Probably should.
Probably.
Yeah.
Some of us fell asleep with the form, so
Yeah.
it may count as a half rest.
Yeah, we should at least take a short rest. I think that would count.
Okay. You find sort of like an out of the way place because any buildings you pass that you happen to see inside of, it looks like what would pass for beds are essentially just cradles that are shaped to the various types of holes that these creatures have, and they just sort of rest in these cradles, almost like one of those baby swings at the at
Great.
the playground. So they're not really going to
I go
function
sit
as
in a
beds.
baby swing.
So you find an out of the way spot, like off a side street or something, like an alleyway, and settle down there and take a short rest.
Alright. I'm full.
Okay.
Short rest.
Yeah, short rest.
I have all my spells.
So short rest,
Yeah.
regenerate whatever that does for you.
Fortunately, my mental
What do we roll?
long rest. So.
Your hit dice,
We made arcane
which
recovery.
should put it down here. I think for you it's
I use any of my, I do use any of my
sorry,
spells, so
D10. I'm pretty sure. No, D12.
I use cantrips. With my hammer.
Is anybody keeping up with Twitch chat tonight?
No one said anything for a while. I think they left.
Sean has been the whole night.
Oh,
But yeah.
I've been on a little here and there.
Alright.
What is it?
Holding
D12
it down.
usually?
Yes, there are a few people still left.
Okay.
So, thanks to everyone who's stuck with us this long.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That, and then you add your con. Which
We,
Four, so
we had a
15.
couple people
Yep.
from the
It's not
podcast
completely
tune in. One of them was willing to chat.
Oh, cool. That's
Yeah, I
awesome.
saw a lot going by. I couldn't read it all because it's kind of awkward to look over there all
Yeah.
play.
Yeah, if you're here from the podcast, thanks for being here for our first official stream, I guess.
And if you're not here from the podcast, you can check out the podcast.
Yeah, listen to the podcast, thedamagedguild.com, or search iTunes or Google Play for Damage Guild, or and give us a listen.
Two
Did we,
episodes come out every Monday.
Every Monday, every week.
did we just accidentally end the session?
No, but we're getting there. We're
Okay.
getting to a good closing point. So
Yeah.
So you return to the cathedral, and when you get back, the main entrance has been cleared of rubble, at least enough to let you guys go through. So you show your passes, the guards let you in, and you start going down the main hallway into this big, like, I guess it's not really a sanctuary, it's just like a big room full of all these different mechanical pieces that really mean nothing to you, but a bunch of them are damaged and stuff. And you pass through this room. There's a door at the back. You go through the door, and because it's the only other way really out that you can access because of all the rubble around the sides of the room. So you're essentially just going where the rubble isn't. You're just kind of forging your path through it.
Okay.
And so you're kind of at times having to clamber over these big piles of it, or duck under like fallen whatever trusses or whatever is there. And you eventually make it to a partially blocked stairwell, and a set of steps leads down into darkness. And there's your dungeon. We're gonna stop there. For
Okay. All right.
Alright.
Made to the entrance to the first dungeon.
All right. Well.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, Torio Salas. Oh my gosh.
And by the way, these are. I don't know if I ever showed you a picture of what the monodrones look like.
Oh, the monodrones.
Yeah, they're all these little.
The monodrones are the round ones. The monodrones are.
These are all monodrones. Actually, they're just different.
No.
They all look different.
No, there's
No,
a monodrone, duodrone.
Quadrone.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're actually different things.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. There are big ones. I was just considering these all different types of. But yeah, you're right. There's some of the big ones. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you once again, everybody, for joining us this evening on the Damage Guild live stream. Once again, if you have not listened to the podcast, check us out at thedamageguild.com. If you have, thanks for listening and thanks for watching tonight. We'll see you again next time. We will be announcing our next live session on the podcast, so keep your ears out for that, and we will see you next time.
And on Discord as well, we should announce there.
Oh yeah, we have a Discord server. Go to our website, and actually we have a bunch of stuff. We have Twitter and Facebook and Discord and a lot of social media. We've got a YouTube channel where this video will be posted shortly. So go check that out, thedamageguild.com. There's a row of links across the top that will take you to your social media platform of choice, and go check that out. So good night, everybody, and we'll see you next time.